Everything's all right now. Everything's all right now. Everything's all right now. Everything's all right. Dun, 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 dun. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Everything's all right now. Everything's all right now. What musical am I singing? Everything's all right now. Everything's all right now. Psychedelic. What musical am I singing? First person to get it wins. First person to get it wins. What musical am I singing? First person to get it wins. And I'm not even messing around here. This is serious. First person to get it wins. You get it? Got ads you didn't hear. Unlucky. Unlucky. Here we go. Here we go. Try not to get worried. Some sort of live stream, Gatford. That's it. Anyone know what that song is? Here we go. Here we go. Everything's all right now. Everything's all right now. That's probably enough for a copyright strike. You know what? I'm feeling loosey-goosey. Moraine Blues got it right. Jesus Christ Superstar. This is insane because David Turner's in the chat and we're WhatsApping each other as well. This is freaking insane. I ate... What am I doing? Oh, sent Catherine the wrong link. Which is actually a good thing to do. Participants, copy invite link. Participants. Everything's all right now. Everything's all right now. Everything's all right now. Listen to the right. I'm gonna send my lady the right links so she can join in at the show. Send it to the lady. Gonna send her to the lady so that she can take part in the show tonight. Gonna send it to my lady. Oh yeah, gonna send it to her. It would probably be blasphemous to you, Gatford. I've never seen it. And I don't want to see it. It looks rubbish. But that song popped up on my recommended on Spotify. And I thought, I like that song. It's a positive, upbeat vibe. If only the Bible were more like that. Here she comes, walking down the street. Funniest looks from everybody she meets. Her hair's Captain. Yo.
Yo.
If this were even just like 3 years ago, I'd go, yo, B word.
Why?
5 years ago? When could I say, when was I last allowed to say the B word to a bee?
I prefer you didn't.
No, I was talking about now. I'm talking historically. When was I first allowed to say the B word to a bee?
You were never allowed. It's just that you hadn't checked your privilege at that point.
Excuse me. I once went on, this is a true story, the Sex and the City tour in NYC, New York City.
Okay. I know where you're going with this. We're allowed to call each other whatever we like.
I can call you. Do you mean us or birds? Women, excuse me. Ladies.
Women.
Ladles. I won the quiz on the bus of the Sex in the... Is it Sex in the City or Sex and the City?
Sex and the City.
That doesn't make sense. I won... Anyway, I didn't know the title of the show, but I won the quiz on there.
It must have been full of idiots.
It was full of hardcore fans. They went off and we had cupcakes.
Sex.
And we had blinis. Is it blinis? What was the drink in there?
Cosmopolitans.
They went off and had cosmopolitans. And we went and sat on the steps of her brownstone apartment.
Bit weird. She doesn't really live there.
Yep. Everything's all right now. Everything's all right now. A little bit of Jesus Christ Superstar.
I'm not aware of that's one musical I'm not familiar with.
Yeah, it looks shit. It's all about Jesus. Catherine, what are you doing after the show tonight? I was wondering, do you fancy playing with my balls?
No. Are you talking about you and Turner's and your balls?
Yeah, me and David Turner's and a couple of other lads.
I would, but I've made a date with my youngest and we tend to watch The Apprentice.
Well, hang on, you don't know what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I do.
What?
Tickle your balls
No,
with my club.
walkabout mini golf.
Yeah.
God, but so you're going to do something with your kid?
Yeah, I kind of like her.
Jesus. You live with her.
Yeah, I know.
Can I call her a B?
If you want to punch in the F.
All right, no Yoko tonight, David. It's just the Beatles. Live and unleashed. I forgot The Apprentice was on. Can I have a little WMGs? No, walkabout is one word. A little WMG. Walkabout mini golf tonight. And you know what, guys? You're not invited. There's going to be one space there. You're not invited. Here's what I wanted to talk about tonight.
Look at this face. First of all, can
Hello,
we just all
Coochie.
stop and look at the
Hello,
cat?
little scoocher.
She's such a cute.
Oh my God. I've told you about I'll tell you. So Dennis is cat number 6.
Double Dennis. He's a big lad.
And I want to catch him. I want to get his balls chopped off. I want to get him injected and I want to get him chipped and I want to find a home for him. He's not living here.
Because we've all
And
got rings.
I'm in contact with a big cat charity. No names, no pack drill.
Not big cats, though. That would be
No.
like the Leopards Trust or
But
the
Jesus Christ.
Panther Association.
Every time I speak to them, I feel like I'm getting told off. So I'd used them before to catch big boy, and they got me a trap. There's a cat trap. It's about this big. It's a metal sort of tunnel. You put food in it. They go in. As soon as they're in, boom, the door's shut. And so I did that to catch big boy. And I phoned up and I spoke to a guy. He said, "Oh, you Iain Lee, the broadcaster?" Yes. Oh, that's nice. Anyway, someone phoned up and we were talking, and she said, "Are you the guy that lives?" I nearly give a landmark. We think I'm Brian Wilson.
The old
recording
man who lives in the
Friends.
shoe.
Are you the one that lives near let's say the brook? Actually, there is a brook near me. Oh shoot, I've just given it away. And I said yes. She goes, and I said, "Oh, are you the lady that brought the trap before?" She said, "Yes, I am." So we're talking, and then she said, "Well, of course, obviously we'll have to get him neutered and chipped. We can't use the vets that we used to use because of your phone call to them." I said, "Sorry?" She said, "Well, yeah, last time after you called them, they complained, and I said that wasn't what we'd arranged, and they refused to work with us anymore." And I went, "Sorry, are you saying the phone call I made stopped vets working with a cat chat, one of the best known cat charities?" She said, "Yeah." Now, the phone call to the vets was, I got the trap, I set it up, I thought it would take a couple of days to catch big boy. This is back in the day. Took 30 minutes. He's an idiot. So suddenly, it's Friday evening, it's 5 o'clock, I've got a cat. I don't know what to do with it. So I phone up the vets that they had told me, and I said, "I know it's short notice. Is there any chance I could get him in and get him done?" "No." "Okay. Do you know anywhere where I might be able to?" "No." "Okay, well, that's frustrating, but I really appreciate help." That
So
was
just
it.
to clarify, he called no one a bee
No.
or
no
anything
bees.
else.
There was no snark.
It was just a quick, are you available? No, I'm not.
I got him
Why
done
on
by...
earth would that lead to a complete boycott of a very respected charity?
Got him done by like a backstreet vet. That's not even a joke. I got him done sneakily. So sneakily, there was a 7-year-old girl that helped cut the balls off. That's not even a joke. I got to inject him to wake him up. Anyway, and I said, "Really? They ended their relationship because of that call? Because that was not a bad call." She said, yeah, it was that and some other things. Right. Okay.
Some other things. I think I know what the other things might entail.
It kind of was a tricky phone call. And and then I spoke to her yesterday and she said, "Right, okay, well, if you could catch him on Tuesday, I can book him in to be done on Wednesday." I said, "Well, I can try and catch him on Tuesday, but he doesn't come here every day, and I don't know if he's going to go in the trap. He might not go in the trap."
Also, what we're keeping in the trap for 24 hours, maybe
She
more.
said that would be okay. That would be okay. If you keep him warm, that's okay.
But she was concerned that it might be stressful.
She said, "Oh, I thought you said he was tame." I said, "Well, he is, but he's not here every day, and I don't know if he's going to go in the trap. He's canny." I remember saying he's canny. She said, "Well, have you tried to put him in a travel?" I said, "Yeah, he wouldn't go in." Oh, but I thought you said he was tame. I said, well, yeah, he is, but he wouldn't go in the box. Have you tried one that's got a door on the top? I said, I've got no idea what that is. I've never heard of it. She said, well, it's a carry case that's got a door on the top, and you open it and you lower them in. I said, well, no, I haven't tried that because I haven't got one. I'd be willing to try that as well as the trap, but I think he's too canny, kept saying canny, to go in that. And then she said, okay, well, what we'll have to do is I will book him in for the vets on Wednesday. We can't use the vets that we used to use because of your. And she said it again, because of your phone call. I'm like, what? And then she said, would the cat be able to live with you? And I said, listen, I'm prepared to keep it for 2 weeks. But I've got 5 cats. One of them really doesn't get on, and it wouldn't be in the house. I'd have to keep him in the garage because he's going to piss everywhere. She went, oh, okay, because, it might take a while to find someone. I said, 2 weeks. And I said, I'm worried because he's black and white and people don't want black and whites. And she said, actually, people do. And I really felt like I was being told off. This lady's got one of our traps. If you call her up, you can go and get it. Ooh.
Oh, so, okay, hang on a second. So you've got to find the trap. You've got
someone in a farm has got a trap from them.
Yeah, but surely she coordinates who gets what.
I've got to go and get it and clean it out.
Surely she coordinates what's what. Surely. Or is she just a teller offer?
And I'm really getting to the point where if she talks down to me one more time, I'm going to say, do you know what? I'm going to do this on my own, and then go to All Done Pets or someone. I had this when I got Velvet. It was the same cat charity, right? And the woman, I don't forget, bright ginger hair, the very horsey woman. And she was so rude. And she came and checked the house, which is what they do to make sure it's safe for cats. She said, well, you're on a main road. I said, no, the cat we're getting is an indoor cat. Turns out she wasn't in the end. I said, it's an indoor cat. Well, no, she knew actually it was an indoor cat. You mustn't let it out. Okay, I won't. Yes, I'm not sure. And this woman's the same thing, the power, the cat power.
Yes, may I make a suggestion? Is that these women, what they did in previous lives, but now they have nothing but time, right? Yeah. And so this is the only way they can exert some sort of authority, because after a certain age, women are made to feel useless, ignored, and obsolete, right? So maybe these women are reclaiming their power, but it's just in the wrong kind of way, because actually what they're doing is taking it out on the people that don't need it taken out on.
It was the weirdest thing. And I've got. She's not told me. So she's going to book an appointment for either the Wednesday or the Thursday morning. You have to take them in at 8 o'clock.
I'm just thinking how much I've upset my vet in the past, because I've asked for appointments when there haven't been any. I've just got to thank my lucky stars that I've not been completely blackballed.
Sorry. Well, that's what I want to get done to. He's actually got black balls.
It's crazy. My suggestion would be that perhaps maybe she's had other interactions that she's leaving out of that conversation that might have led to that.
I think it's down to her. So, I mean, so she's going to book an appointment for Wednesday or Thursday morning, whenever she can. Doesn't matter. I work. Don't matter about that. I've got to take him in at 8 o'clock in the morning. I won't be able to collect him that day. So I have to catch him the day before. You know, cats, right? They don't do what you want them to do.
Could you not send him an email or a text or something and ask him to be in a certain place at a certain time?
That's how I got Big Boy in 30 minutes. I put it down thinking he'd come and sniff it out. 30 minutes, he went. He's thick. Dennis, I think, is a little bit more savvy.
I think Dennis is a little bit more people-friendly. He knows how to work us. Whereas Big Boy was a kind of grab-and-run kid, wasn't he?
It really peed me off. So I'm going to talk to her again. She's going to tell me when the appointment is. And... I said I'd pay to get him done and the chip, but she wants to pay for that because then it's one of their chips and it's their injections that they're doing, because he needs injections as well. And if there's one more like that, I'm going to say, do you know what? Actually, I'll do this on my own, because I'm 49 3/4.
You got 5 cats. It's not like it's your first rodeo.
Alan's right. It's like herding cats. Very good, Alan.
Let's put her head on my hand. She's holding my hand and she's put her head on it.
Gatford, I will not record that call, but it is. She's talking to me, and I really had to bite my tongue. It is a bit of a self-service charity, Harsh. I had to bite my tongue, and I did bite my tongue. I was very, very polite to her. There was no snark from my part, but. Do you know why I said port? Because Visionary wrote cat sport, and I haven't got my glasses on. I thought it said cat sport. That's why I said port.
Oh, I'd love cat sport. That's the sort of sport I like.
So we will see. If I catch him, I'll show him to you because he's dead tame.
It's cute as well. He's got a round face like Willow, hasn't he?
He's beautiful. Got a big scar across his nose. Big old balls. Big old.
Okay, that's not the cute part of him.
Balls, leathery, massive old balls.
I've never seen a cat's balls before, but
they're not that big actually. But his are quite big, and because he's white behind, and he's got these big leathery black balls. So we'll see. I'm not having, but I'm genuinely, I'm not having a cat-splaining. Exactly what she was doing, Joe.
She was
cat-splaining. And I did think, I'm not a cat expert, but this ain't my first cat rodeo, and cat rodeos are tough.
Also,
you get tiny little saddles.
Also, let's remind ourselves that people like you are doing what her charity is asking you to do, right? Yeah, and helping and doing it free of charge and on your own time.
Yeah.
And that might be your only interaction with that charity that you ever have. And if you have that experience, that word goes around. It's not great.
I think it's really funny that when I got Velvet 2000, it was around the time George Harrison died and the Twin Towers collapsed. So that was 22 years ago. It was a similar kind of... I know best. This is what you do. No. You do as you're told.
Like live Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, right. Twitter. Right. So I was considering, I've talked myself out of it now, getting an electric bicycle because I want to lose some weight and I don't really do much exercise and I wouldn't mind going out cycling, but I'm not very good at it. I've got very weak legs and there's some hills here, not big hills, but some hills. And so I'd like to go out cycling, then press the button and go and then pedal. Well, actually coast down the hill.
Down the hill, legs out.
Right. David's getting timed out. You will ride 20k. You're getting timed out, mate. Not having that. Right. So he just posted. Right, you're timed out, mate. And as soon as you get untimed out, you're getting timed out. Visionary 19.9 is getting you timed out as well, actually, mate. We're taking the piss. So I went. So the good electric bikes start about 1,500 quid. They go up to 2.5, 3 grand, 4 grand, right?
Yeah.
And I can't afford that. And I as always, I like to think I can do things on the cheap. Buy cheap, buy twice. So I've been looking online, and I went to Halfords, and they had the Carrera is kind of a good make, and they had a cheap one for $650 that had been reduced, and there was another bike. So there were 2 bikes, $650 and $670. So I posted on Twitter.
Just to give you a Willow update, she's been holding my hand, and now she's just done that ultimate cat thing of now go away.
No, she's had it.
Lulu's
getting timed out for saying buy a conversion kit. Seriously, I'm strict mode today. So I went online. I went on Twitter with 2 pictures of bike, 2 different. I said, "Does anyone have any experience with these bikes? Which would you recommend?" So it's a very definite question with
specific parameters.
Boundaries. Yeah, parameters.
Yes.
Very specific parameters. Caterpillar, I don't know if I've seen Caterpillar. Caterpillar came back, answered it beautifully. Well, this one has this and this one has that, and you're not going to get much bang for your buck, but if you're going to pick one of these, this is one that I would recommend. Fantastic. The first one was someone saying, yeah, if you can double what you're going to spend, you start to get really good stuff around 1,200-1,300 quid. Caterpillar's there.
That's like saying, I'm about to buy a Fiat Punto, and someone go, yeah, but if you can afford like 3 times as much, you could probably get yourself like a Ferrari or a Porsche or something.
If you can double what you can spend, then they start to get really. And I wrote back, well, I can't double it. Right. Oh, I didn't even reply to that. Well, I can't double it. And then there were a lot of people saying, yeah, get a conversion kit. No, look at the question. Look at the question. And then they were saying, yeah, I've got them because I was sending them to you and Turner's. Let me see. Let me see. Hang on, hold the line. What you said? A gossip about Steve Allen. I have news. Apparently, he signed an NDA and cannot work elsewhere for a year. Anyway, it's all rumours and gossip. So, where were the ones I sent you? It was. Here we go. These are fun. These are a lot of fun, right? Hang on, where? I'm worried that some of the people might be in this chat, but you have to deal with it.
Public domain, mate.
Lee says, also battery length duration. If it lasts 40 kilometres, 20 kilometres out is okay, but if you need it on amber or red setting for the return home, it may not do it. I replied, I am never going to ride 20 kilometres.
Also, it's not like the bike will start working. You just have to pedal.
Brendan then says, you'd be surprised, Iain. I cycle 5k unaided in 15 minutes to get to work on Glasgow hire bikes. The more you cycle, the easier it gets, especially if you use for transport rather than fitness.
Brendan wants a sticker.
So then, again, replying to, I'm never going to ride 20k. Chris Rawley, you'll be surprised. Yeah, I'd be fucking, of course I'd be surprised. Excuse my language. So then Lee, again, who said you need 20k out on it. I'm never going to ride 20 kilometres. Then ignored that. Then the constant charging argument kicks in. Also, 20k, not at the mo, but with summer coming, you may. No, I freaking won't. No, I freaking won't. And then replied. So here's the original thing. Right, anyway. And my original thing says, can't spend a shed load of cash. Someone's replied, just avoid hills and buy a push bike. You'll get more for your money. Well, no, I'll get less because it won't have a battery or a motor.
Have you thought about walking? Or using a car? Have you thought about cars?
Honestly.
Cars are good, apparently.
Right. David, he just tweeted me. He just WhatsApp me. You'd be surprised, mate. I blocked David on WhatsApp last night and he didn't notice. What a waste of a block. What a waste of a block.
What did he do to achieve that?
I kept going on. He kept saying, oh, I don't even know why we were doing it, but he's going, hang on, I'll play it. It's not Scott, so it's probably safe. Here we go. This was the... He's recommending TV shows by being a dick. Here we go.
Okay, fine, that's rude, but I have actually got a show recommendation for you. About two fellas, they're brothers, and they live together, set in London.
Can you guess what the show is? Can you guess what the show is?
Two brothers live together, set in London. Is it likely, lads?
You know, they just sort of sell odds and sods, man.
Yeah.
Only fools and horses, right?
Selling shit to people, basically, in the hope that one day they'll make a lot of money. There's he falls through a fucking bar. That's a good bit, and so about a chandelier.
And it goes on for ages. And then the next one is this.
No, I don't know what you did. I don't know your dad's name. So no, that was not me. I do bum only fools and horses.
Oh, he bums only fools and horses.
What they're the two groups that he bums.
Recognise it's nonsense. Anyway, if that doesn't,
here we go.
If you're not happy with that, I've got another one for you. Old man, he just goes around not believing stuff.
Oh yeah.
He just goes around and he cannot believe stuff.
Blocked him. I blocked him after
He
that.
deserved
but he didn't
that.
know he'd be blocked. So that was a waste of a block. Here's the thing I've noticed.
Go on.
Well done, Gary. Gatford says, 1 foot in the grave.
I don't believe it. How did you get it?
Here's the thing, a theory I've been working on for a while, and I've tested it recently. There was a song, and unfortunately I don't remember what the song is. Catherine, I'm going to spell a word to you. I want you to say it as a British person, okay? C-L-O-T-H-E-S.
Clothes.
Pronounce it as an American person.
Clothes.
They say close.
Yeah.
They say C-L-O-S-E. Close.
C-L-O-Z-E. Oh, it's Z-E, as they would say.
Okay. Okay, close. Yeah, you're right. Close. C-L-O-Z-E. Close. And I've been noticing this for a bit, but keep thinking I must have missaid it. Then I heard a song the other day, and they rhymed close with pose. I thought, you cheeky. Why? Has anyone else noticed this? They say close.
Yeah.
They can't say Clothes. What is that? I'm going to find some examples now on YouTube. Americans saying clothes.
Yeah, imagine if they had the clothes show. Clothes.
Here we go. Let's have some of this. Share screen.
I can't remember the last time I used the word clothes.
What about when you were on Vinted or whatever that was?
Frocks. I sell frocks on there.
Oh, is it frocks, is it?
Yeah.
Frocking hell. Right. Hang on a minute.
Which my daughter, my eldest, thinks is hilarious. She's filed it under more northern shit that mum says.
Making you bigger.
Bigger still, please.
Here we go. Who's this? Who's this?
How to pronounce...
You can't hear it because I haven't done share sound. Here we go.
The word clothes. You start with a k.
She did it then.
Clothes.
She did it then.
And then the l sound. Cl. Then the o as in go. This is a diphthong, a changing vowel. So you start by dropping your jaw, rounding your lips a bit, and then you're closing your jaw and your lips at the same time. O. Oh, clo. Imagine like you're adding a W sound at the end.
Right, so it should be now clo.
And clo. Then we have a TH sound and a Z.
She's
it's a
doing
voice
it.
TH and a Z.
But she said close at the start.
She did.
So you stick the tongue out and then you bring it in for the Z.
What the fuck? Why is someone doing a TikTok, which has had 12,000 views, on how to...
And yet, when she first introduced it, she did not pronounce the.
I got good news for you because it is a tricky transition for most people. So most people end up dropping the T.
What?
No.
It's a tricky transition.
Excuse me, missus, but we invented that and we do not drop it.
This is insane. So this is how you pronounce it, but you don't. You pronounce it wrong like this.
TA. So you don't have to pronounce it. And then you can just say close.
This is insane. Right, this is the rest of the show. Right, we're here until 9:30 looking at videos of Americans saying close.
As in, close the door. Close.
No, as in, I'm going to close the door of the wardrobe where I keep my clothes.
Isn't it much easier?
It's wrong.
It's wrong.
It's wrong.
Clothes. Put on some clothes.
Fuck off. Sorry, that I'm not swearing.
How to pronounce the word clothes. You start...
I could seriously, in the old day, if this was talk radio, 3 hours on this woman, we would be dissecting this clip. Should we see what the comments? Well, let me
How to pronounce the word clothes.
Right, let me open it up on this window so we can see what the comments
She's
are.
like, maybe she's just trying to instigate, because there are some American women who pretend that they're interested in making a cup of tea, and what they do is they warm water in a microwave and then dab a tea bag in it and then drown it in water. And you and I both know that that is hate speech. And,
yes.
But I think she's doing that. I think she's doing it just to get
Here
views.
Israel Gamer Fan, can you do a pronunciation video on the word drink? Because of my French accent, every time I say it, people can't understand it for some reason when I pronounce drink. Could you do drink in a French accent?
Drink.
Okay. Please do a pronunciation. Zarniga Jareva. I'm going to be careful, none of these are racist. Please do a pronunciation video for university. What a wonderful teacher, says Marissa Azevedo. I do love you. Jenmy says, your explanation makes it so easy suddenly. Thanks so much.
Yeah, because it takes out the tricky part.
Very meticulous detail, says Inquisitive Girl. Handy, thanks, says Luis Philippe. Can you do scarce and scrutiny? I've had a hard time. This is Varsha Rani. Have a hard time pronouncing the word water and daughter. I did watch your video, but I don't know. I can't really sound like a native speaker when I speak those words. Please help me out here. Hang on, please help me out here with the flap T's.
What?
The flap T's.
Flat T's. So she means like water, daughter. So if she's saying native speaker, she means American. So you know, the people that stole it and ruined it. My sister lived in America for a long time, and the only way she could get a drink of water rather than a waffle or anything else beginning with W in a restaurant was by saying water. Can I get a glass of water?
Sometimes you have to say things.
If I get a glass of water, she got a waffle.
Yeah, sometimes you have to say American things in the American accent. Yeah. So like I've told this story before. When I went to Japan, Tower Records, which they only recently closed down, and I wanted some Pizzicato 5 records. So I said to the nice young Japanese lady who didn't really speak English, well, she did a bit actually, aluminum. She said, have you got any Pizzicato 5? Pizzicato 5 CDs? No. Pizzicato 5? And I thought, I've got to do it, haven't I? I went, a Pizzicato 5 CD. And she went and took me to the Pizzicato 5 department. Pizzicato 5 CD.
Well, there is an alternative, and my dad used to use when we went to America, which was to go really, really, really posh.
Yeah.
So you can either go American or you can go really posh. And the hilarious one that we always throw up at him was when he went up to a place and asked them if he could have some cheesy poofs, if he might have some for us, please. Cheesy poofs.
You've seen me go a little bit Hugh Grant in Full Wedding. But, you know, obviously, if it's not a bother at all, I would love a latte, please. British, what is this? This is how Americans say goodbye. Oh, an American pronunciation. Cloth versus clothes versus... Right, here we go. Let's try this.
Clothes.
As I'm in the midst of applying for residency right now.
Great, well, I hope you get it, dude, but I'm not interested in your mood mind. Here we go.
I have a question concerning the following 3 words in English. Cloth, clothes, clothes. Could you explain the difference between the pronunciation of these 3 words? Thank you. Gladly. And I'm actually going to throw a 4th word into there, the plural of cloth.
Okay.
I think she's going to do it properly.
I think because she did say clothes.
Yeah.
So let's start with cloth.
No.
Which would be cloths. Now, if you add an E to make the verb clothe, you will notice that the th, as in cloth, now becomes the th, clothe, so the TH is now voiced.
Where's she go? I don't know where she's going. Is she on our side? Or is she on that side?
However, it also changes the vowel sound. The vowel is now the O, as in no. Clothe. Cloth, clothe.
She's got 4.75 million subscribers. This has had 300,000 views. We're doing it all wrong. Paul, that's disgusting. Touching cloth.
Clothes, which is the noun of what we wear. That can also be pronounced 2 different ways.
No, it can't.
Better not.
Do it.
You better not. You better not.
Don't do it, Rachel's English.
I would say official pronunciation would
Correct.
be clothes, in which you have the O as a no, the voiced TH and Z ending. However, it wouldn't be unheard of to drop the th sound altogether, close.
It's nuts right now. Listen, now you've heard this, dear viewer, you cannot unhear it. You will see it on TV programs. You will hear it in songs. Not a word you get in songs very often. You cannot unhear this now. Close. I think it might have been, I've watched 36 episodes of Community in about 10 days. I'm loving it. And I'm watching the one that got taken off Netflix because Chang dresses up as a black elf. But it's on YouTube. And I think it was in there. I think they were clothes. They talk about clothes.
Close.
Please please tell them that they will sound like morons if they use this. Please tell them that. They need to know.
I've never heard anyone use even a slight th sound in clothes, says John Paradise.
Bless him.
I'm no expert, and I learn something new every day. To me, clothes and clothes have always sounded the same, and I've never heard anyone, or at least notice anyone, pronounce them any differently.
Well, as they would say in the South, bless your soul. As they would say everyone else, piss off.
This is
ridiculous. But it's the same with, why would you call your child a name you cannot say? And yet there are so many Craigs.
Craig. It's funny, that, isn't it? I'm aware that I pronounce Imani Coppola's name wrong. Do you know what I'm doing wrong? It's Coppola.
Okay.
Imani Coppola. She's very politely never mentioned that once.
But is Coppola the Americanization of an Italian name?
Well, but the Coppola is the Englishization of an American version of an Italian name.
It's how the Italians would pronounce it.
No, but it doesn't matter because that's how she pronounces it. So that's the name.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we should be calling Whitney Houston, even though it sounds ridiculous to us.
Yeah. Americans pronounce Graham weird too. That's true.
Yeah, Graham
Nash. It's a strange old place, and I don't think I'm ever going to go back there ever again. If
America, because not until they start speaking properly. I agree.
Getting a lot of emails from people that used to work with Lino and offered some footage of him, but it's a little bit too late, really. Look at this. I'm no names, but you don't know me, but I wanted to write as I only just heard about Lino's passing. We've been good friends and spent some time. We stayed in touch, but I haven't heard much from him since last December. Now I know why. I know he regarded you as a good friend and often mentioned you. There we go. That's a nice thing to receive. Okay. Hope if you've wanted to, you've checked out the Lino pod. It's something I'm very proud of, not because I did anything particularly special, but because of the beautiful things that were said. I know some of you, it may not interest you at all, but actually it's quite a lot of fun. It's worth it if you're a radio geek to listen to Clive Bull, lovely Clive Bull, talk about LBC in the 80s when they did a feature called Young London, and Clive took him and a couple of other people, Lino and a couple of other people, to see Morons from Outer Space, which is a terrible film, but there's one very, very funny gag in Morons from Outer Space. My sister had the single, "We're morons, welcome to our pleasure." There's one funny gag in it where there is a security guard outside a door and they sneak up behind him and smack him on the back of the head to knock him out, and he goes, "Oh, what'd you do that for? That really hurt." And they keep doing it. He's going, stop it, that really hurts. And it doesn't knock him out. That's the one good gag in it. Catherine, you wish to say something?
No, not at all. I was interested in the funny gag, and I'm still waiting for it.
It was the only one in the entire. What'd you do that for? It really hurts. I wonder if Morons from Outer Space is a terrible. It was like kind of the not the 9 o'clock news movie. Morons from Outer Space guy. I haven't seen it for. God, the whole. Well, no, hang on. I mean, this is. Let's watch the trailer. Oh, by the way, tomorrow, Kath's here, and I asked in one of the Patreon posts for you to send video links of stuff you want us to watch tomorrow. So you can still do that. Email latenightalternative@gmail.com with any weird clips, and we'll go through those tomorrow. Someone has sent us the link. Oh, it's a really good clip. It's of Paul Shane singing The Righteous Brothers. Someone sent us that, so I appreciate that. Thank you. But here we go. This is the trailer for Morons from Outer Space.
I got one. I got a spaceship. They're coming. They're gonna enter our atmosphere.
When them extraterritorial,
extraterrestrial being.
Yeah, when they come, they'll probably come in secret, won't they?
Undoubtedly.
I think this might get a watch actually at some point.
It'll land, right? And
that noise, I think, is leaking from my headphones, and Willow just looked at me like that.
Of us will know all about it, I expect.
Oh yeah, well obviously. Yeah. Well, see, they'll have a very advanced spacecraft.
Jimmy now.
Obviously, level with it. Goes on. In many subtle and mysterious ways.
Your time has come, you smut.
Dr. Leg.
You doctor.
The aliens are here! We're all going to die!
Drive on.
Oh, I'm totally watching this weekend. There we go. That's getting watched.
Oh, it's like a lot of fun.
That's getting watched. I'm having some of that.
Jack Black there in the foreground.
Isn't it? David Turner sent me a funny clip.
Did he? Oh yeah, he sent me that as well.
Where is it? It's not on here. Look, just have me.
Yeah, it was a TikTok.
Yeah, I'm not so hot at accessing TikTok. Let me go here. Let me go TikTok. Just have me haircut. I mean, we're laughing at someone who's.
He's forgotten to press. He's either forgotten to press pause or he can't control his inner monologue.
Yeah, he's here we go. Zoom screen. This is it. I don't. Bro just had his.
Yeah, man, I've just had my haircut. Yep, I've just had my haircut. Yeah, I've just had my haircut. Yeah. So I've just had my haircut.
Maybe he's doing individual hairs.
I've just had my haircut.
Yep, can see that.
Yeah, man, I've just had my haircut.
Okay.
So get in there. I've just had my haircut.
So get in there. David has sent me pictures of his videos of his kids doing it, him doing it. Send me one of Joe doing it, please, David.
I heard a kid in Tesco yesterday going, "Whoa!" and all I could think of is, "Good for you, good for you."
I've just realised this is supposed to be the free one today. We'll do that next week. Yeah. It's the beginning of the month.
Oh yeah, of course it is. It's March all of a sudden.
Yeah, I hadn't really realised. We'll do it next week. So I've had a really long day. Let's go there. Let's stop the share. So I've had a really, really long day. So I had a lovely morning. I got up very early. Went and saw my youngest singing in the. Oh God! So there was like a service. It was like a service, and they sang.
Oh, careful.
Lord of the Dance but it was listed as a hymn. This was in a chapel. I don't think that's a hymn. I think Lord of the Dance.
What do you think it is? It's definitely a hit.
When do you think Lord of the Dance was written? Let's take bets because I don't know.
I reckon I'm thinking 1938.
I'm going to say 52.
Okay.
It's got a rock and roll kind of vibe. But Lord of the Dance, 63. Whoa. Lord of the Dance is a hymn written by English songwriter Sidney Carter in 63. The melody is from the American Shaker song, Simple Gifts.
Do they mention Michael Flatley in there at all?
Oh, it's like an old folk song, but he's nicked the...
This.
Shut up. Oh, now I'm seeing videos for electric bikes.
'Tis a gift to be simple.
Can you hear that? What a weird song. Hang on.
I can't hear that.
You're going to hear it soon and you're going to regret it.
'Tis the gift to be simple.
I think this is different, but sharing sound. I'm not sharing sound because I've just clicked off. Here we go.
'Tis the gift to be simple.
That's it. Think of someone who's simple. 'Tis a gift. Well, you've got the gift, Catherine. You be. Okay.
They don't mean that. They mean like plain, as in like unadorned and
yeah, that's what I meant as well. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Gift to be free. 'Tis the gift to come down wherever you may be.
Anyway,
they stripped and they hung me.
No one laughed at they whipped and they stripped. No one laughed except for me. I'm the only person in that goddamn chapel that I sniggered. No one else did.
We used to laugh at that bit, and we also used to laugh at I was cold, I was
angry. Were you naked, isn't it? Naked.
Why would we be there? We're not pervs.
Dirty bastard. The orgy's gone wrong, is it? It's when they couldn't afford the electricity at a sex party. Anyway, so they did that. And it was lovely because I went to see my kid and I had to get up early, but it was great. And, do you know what? Here's the thing.
Go on.
I pretended that one of the kids had done my nail because her mum said, what colour's that? When kids do that, though. And I went, yeah. And I couldn't be bothered to go, I did it. I do it sometimes. Do the whole thing sometimes. It's a problem. Anyway.
Next time, do that one.
Yes, I think I might do. So
who did your makeup? Is the response?
Yeah. So anyway, it was like one of those days where they get a company in, and it's like a team building experience for kids. We had it at school once where we had to make these things that you could put an egg in and drop it from a height and it wouldn't smash. And it was that kind of day.
We had it when that guy came in and asked me how I really got head girl.
Yeah. Oh God. And let's say this company was Johnson's Motors, right? It wasn't. Johnson's Motors, right? And we very lucky. We've got two representatives. What was it? This school has 500 pupils and 40 staff, and let's say 1,000 parents. That's 1,540. Well, this company, Johnson's Motors, has over 700,000 employees, and we've got 6 of them with us today. So here come 2. This is in a chapel. This is in a chapel in Windsor, right? A really posh chapel in Windsor. So from Johnson's Motors, it's Sandra and Sarah. And then the next 15 minutes is them going, well, when we work at Johnson's Motors, it was an advert at Johnson's Motors. I remember when I was interviewed for a job at Johnson's Motors, I was asked, could you come up with an idea for getting people back into the cinema after COVID? And what Johnson's Motors does is it teaches us to think. We have and then the bit that got me. We have 7 rules at Johnson's Motors for being creative. The first rule, and it went on. The 5th rule at Johnson's Motors, it was an advert for Johnson's Motors in a really posh chapel. And I'm thinking, and they did some jokes that died. Good. I'm thinking, you lot, you've got no.
But anyway, you bought a car and you have no idea why.
Yeah, it's great. So there was that. So it's been a busy day. So I had that. And I had some clients this afternoon. But before the clients, I had a knock on the door. Imagine if it was Johnson's Electric Bikes there. I had a knock on the door and someone said, I'm terribly sorry to disturb you. But the old lady next door, what she said was, the old lady has had a fall down the road. And I instantly thought of my cats. I thought, fuck, one of my cats has been run over. The old lady has had a fall down the road, and I've brought her home, and she's at home. And I went and knocked on the door next door because I believe she's a nurse, but she wasn't in, so I thought I'd just come. I said, all right, thanks. Is she okay? She's fine. Okay, well, let me I said, I'll go over straight away. So
let me put some clothes on, he said, as he stood there with nothing on.
So I went and saw Betty, and Betty is 87, I found out today when I heard her say her age. And she'd had a fall, right? She'd had a fall, and her finger was really badly cut, and a couple of fingers really badly cut. And I said, "Are you all right, Betty?" And she says, it's terrible. I feel very, very silly. I said, "How are you feeling, though, really?" She said, I feel very, very silly. I said, "How's your head?" She says, "I'm a little bit dizzy." I said, "Betty, I am going to take you to A&E." "Oh, no, I don't want to be a bother. I don't want to be bothered." I said, no bother. G-cuffs. Anyway. Let me know if you want to break confidence, G-cuffs. And I said, "No, Betty, do you know what? It's better to be safe than sorry. Better to be safe than sorry. So I've got a couple of clients. Let me just go and email them. Oh, I can't. You can't. You're doing work." I said, no. Honestly, it's fine. This is an emergency. Let me go and sort that stuff out. And I'll be back in 20 minutes. So I emailed my clients, and they were very, very understanding about it, as they would be. And so then we went to the A&E department, and I mean we were there for over 5 hours. That's the way it goes. It was about 5. Got there at 1. It was about 5 hours, and that's the way it goes. That's it. If you're going to go to A&E, you're going to get a long old wait. There was one nurse. let me be polite and say she was brusque. She was brusque. And I came out with the room with Betty and I said, oh my gosh, she was a bit. And there was a woman sat out there. She went, yeah, she is, isn't she? She's a bit. She was very short, brusque. So I took her to A&E and she was holding onto my arm as we walked around. And we kind of sat there for 5 hours watching BBC News channel, repeating the same really horrible stories today. It's a bleak news day today. And there was this weird music playing. And we were there, and everyone was very lovely. Of course, it just takes ages, and it was not the most serious of things. So got her finger glued up. I had to glue it up, and went off and had tests.
You know where that technology came from?
Vietnam.
Nam.
Exactly. I don't know. I wasn't there. And the nurse was great, and one nurse was brusque, and the doctor was great. And he said, you know what? I think I want to send you for a brain scan just to make sure, because she was a little bit confused and stuff. And we're there 5 hours, and I said, oh, do you want to? I think you should eat something because you're a little bit lightheaded. So I'll go to the cafe and get a sandwich, right? And I thought it would be the normal hospital shitty cafe with the the cooker and selling pasta and lasagna. And the pre-packed sandwiches, and it wasn't. They turned it into a poncy little cafe.
Oh,
poncy. And I was there at 3:15, and I said, "Can I get a sandwich?" Oh no, food stops at 3.
Oh right, because that's when people. I've just remembered that's traditionally when people stop being ill.
At 3, there used to be a Costa in where the waiting room is, but no, it's a poncy little cafe, and I'm sure the sandwiches are great, overpriced, freshly made. With the food stops at 3. I thought, fuck it, no. And it was. Went back, and in the end, I bought her a Mars bar and some. What are those little cheesy biscuits?
Mini cheddars.
Mini cheddars. I bought her some. I had some.
Oh, right, it's like you taking a swimming in the 70s.
I had some knickknacks, and I had this thing. I had 2 because I'm trying to lose weight, but they're quite nice. There were these prepackaged, like fake croissant with like chewy chocolate in the middle. They're quite nice. I had those. And I can say it now. The G-Cuffs. Are you in the hospital right now? G-Cuffs was there with his little 8-month-old baby. I didn't see him. G-Cuffs very kindly messaged me in Discord and said, I saw you, but I didn't think, I didn't want to come over and disturb you. And do you know what? I really respect that. Thank you. That was the right choice. Normally I'd say any time. But you know what? That was the right choice. Although actually Betty would have found it hilarious that someone recognised me. So it was the wrong choice. G-Cuffs is still there saying he's 3 hours with his 8-month-old. Well, I'm sending good vibes and good energy to you. Actually, no, you should have come and said hello and made massage my ego. And we were there for ages. And you know what? We talked for 5 hours. I got all the gossip on the street.
And also made some up, but from the bit I heard.
No. So there's someone who lives right down the end of the street. Right. And listen, I'm going to make up a name, right? She said there's this guy who lives down the street and he's very mysterious and we think he's been in prison and his name is John Smith. Now, it wasn't John Smith, but it might as well have been. If you were going to make up just and his name was Jack Jones. It was one of those names you go, oh, and I said, you've made that up. She goes,
Joe Schmo, his name was Joe Schmo. Just say it.
Kokomo. He's been in prison. I said, I bet it was murder or armed robbery. She says, well, you can't say that. I said, well, you don't know. Let's go big. Murder or armed robbery. Anyway, I'm going to go and knock on his door. Not now. I'm going to go and knock on his door.
Mr. Schmo.
Mr. Schmo, I believe. Can I get you back in for one more job? So anyway, I was with Betty for 5 hours. Graham says, I always picture you living in a picturesque little hamlet that harbours a dark secret. So we're there for 5 hours.
Yeah, like Midsummer Murders.
It was a really long old day. Wasn't sure. And every time I thought we were going to be done, they go, oh, let's just do one more test. And her blood pressure was quite high.
Mm-hmm.
She's fine. But I wasn't sure we'd be back in time. I was messaging Kath saying, I don't know what is I don't know how long we're going to be here. And then in the end, she said, I feel so bad for wasting your time. And I said, Betty. I said, Betty, I feel bad for wasting your time because clearly you're all right, and we've been sat here for 5 hours and it's kind of my fault. But actually, if this had been one of my boys, I would have done the same thing. So,
And you would hope if it was your mum, someone would check them out.
Exactly. And we were walking around. She wouldn't go in a wheelchair until later on. And then she kind of said, let's get a chair.
She wouldn't get out.
She was holding onto my arm. I was carrying my bag because I brought a book, although I didn't get to read it. I was carrying her bag. I was carrying her cardigan, her coat, and my coat. And anyway, I brought her home, saw her in, make sure she was okay. I said, Betty, just have a cup of tea, have some food. Don't do anything else tonight. And we talked about it, and I think I've persuaded her to get some help coming in a couple of times. Which is, I've got a form from Age Concern. I said, well, why don't we fill that in? If you want, I'll come around and help you fill that in, because I think maybe it'll be helpful to have someone come in a couple of times a week just to help with the cooking.
If they're offering, take it.
If they're offering, take it. And so tired. So tired. But it's what people are saying you're a star. I don't think so. I would hope you're right. I would hope someone would do that for my mum. I would hope someone, I suppose people do. The lady who, it was about 200 yards up the road, and the lady who brought her home and knocked on the door, I thought was very, very kind. It was, it was the right thing to do. And I'm tired, and I was able to shift work around a little bit, and it's what you do, isn't it? Right? Isn't it? It's what you do.
Yeah.
Just say yes or no in the chat. Who would do it? Who wouldn't do it? And be honest, right? Let's get the measure of you. Let's get the measure.
Let's judge.
Let's judge our patrons. Yes or no? Would you do it? Yes or no? Katia says yes. Liar. Gatford says yes. He probably would. He's a Christian. Visionary says yes. Come on. Right. Stop. Stop.
You know what Turners would do?
Mark says,
roll her out mafia style.
I do it.
The A&E and like honk. Burn off.
The thing about David is he dips in and out. He's not a full-time watcher. Right, stop. Gingerbeard says, Mark says, I would do it, but I moan after. No. Right, stop answering. Paul says, nah, busman's holiday. The first honest answer from Paul, no. Let's do it again and be honest. Be honest. Would you do it? Yes or no? And if you all say yes, I'm going to time all of you out.
Because you can't all be telling the truth.
You can't statistically, right?
Well,
Owen says
unless we
yes.
just have a particular crop of nice people in our.
Lulu says, I've done it. Twisty Faith says, say. Katia says, we. Graham says, I. Jim says, tough luck. Zermatt says, here we go. Paul Bodell, not a chance. An honest man.
Ever.
An honest man. Someone being honest. A man being honest. An honest man. Matty says, I probably wouldn't. I'm too anxious. Honest. Paul and Matty, good, honest men.
Hang on. So you're rewarding them for being...
Luke says, no, don't have a car. Might stick her in a taxi. No. Right, next person say yes gets timed out. Gatford. There we go. That worked perfectly. And I would have taken her dinner round as well. Get out of it. Paul and Matty, the only trustworthy people who sign up to the Late Night Alternative Patreon.
Can trust them to not help.
Exactly.
Every time.
Everyone. Richard, Dave. There we go. Dave. Yes. Was getting someone in the car to go to A&E on Boxing Day, but then their daughter came home. So you didn't.
Oh, well,
yes,
no.
I would do it, but their daughter came home. Well, you didn't do it, so you wouldn't. Given the chance, Lonely God 182, you wouldn't. How do I know that? Because you didn't. It's that simple. Evidence. Linny says, I took my goddaughter A&E. Well, stop the story there because it's a relative.
No, it's not. It's an honorary.
It's a spiritual
it's a divine relative.
It's kind of a Dave says, I didn't because she then took over. I was prepared to. You put 2 exclamation marks in that sentence. Dave, did you take that? Yes or no question, Dave. It's a yes or no question. I'm doing Bezic now. Did you take that person to A&E? Yes or no? Lonely God 182. No one else answer. Tony says, I'd do it only if she was hot. Why do you think I did it? Right. Dave says no. So you didn't do it. You wouldn't do it. You're a coward and a liar, and you're getting timed out. Go and have a little think. Well, I mean, an actual thing, not masturbation. Right.
Whoa.
I went there, Catherine. I went there.
I wish you hadn't.
What's going on here? What's all this?
Is it more recommendations of electric bikes?
Wow. No, it's not. It's a private conversation that I cannot share. Hot gilfs in my area. There. It's a... Wow. Okay. There's a private conversation that's taking place. I would like to reference David Turner's, but he's a plastic fan. He comes in and out, and I'll get a message in 3 days' time going, "Oh, I'm not a plastic fan." But what a conversation.
What are you saying about me?
What a conversation that is taking place in a WhatsApp group.
Is it about Joe Schmo?
No. Oh, he's not a plastic fan. What a conversation in that WhatsApp group, Dave. I'm not going to break any confidence, but what a conversation. I'll send you a screenshot, Catherine.
You better.
Richard says, I'm statistically looking to see how many times Kath yawns while Iain doesn't notice.
I've
noticed.
So tired.
I'm so noticed sorry. Every single yawn has been logged. I've got a tally.
This
16
morning,
so far.
I obviously I get up with the girls. And this morning my alarm went off and I put it 10 minutes snooze, except I didn't. I turned it off. And I woke up half an hour later. And I've been catching up ever since, but I'm so tired.
Yeah.
So tired. But I've had lots to do. I've had lots of bits and bobs. Right, so here's the weird thing.
Yeah.
So that lecturing job that came up last week, I went over on Monday.
Taken away because they found out she was a bee.
I think that's part of the prerequisites, actually. So I went on Monday and saw my old friend who is lecturing on a kind of another part of the course, and I haven't seen him for 5 years, like pre-COVID, and we went to college there together, and it was hilarious. And we took the obvious selfie of us two in the corridor where we trained back there as lecturers.
There's a lot of teeth in that picture.
More I think that was standard issue that year. Yeah, we had that, and we also were given mini disc recorders that we would never use again. And so it was great. You do that all the time anyway. I completely ignore you. Your bored face is something I can blast right through, so to speak. Turns out he's ADHD as well. I think I just surround myself with you pricks.
Oh, you call me a P. I can't call you a B. Do you know what I mean?
He said, "Did you not notice?" I went, "Just thought you were a bit
a P.
rude." Can't
call her a B. She can call me a P.
Well, there ain't a quarter of land that do me for it. So I start there properly on Monday. I've got my lesson plan I need to go through this weekend, but also
how long did it take you to write your lesson plan, Catherine?
I ain't writing it.
Exactly.
My boss has written it.
She got it off howtobeateacher.com.
My boss has written it. I just got to put a bit of top spin on it. And even that isn't a prerequisite because I just need to put it in the system and talk through it. I can do that. Basically, lesson 1, turn on your recording device is what it's going to be. So that's going to take all day. I'm really looking forward to it. And then, when you're looking the other way, I get another invitation to interview for a press office job. So I'm going to do it on Wednesday, just see what happens. I mean, the heat is taken off somewhat, but it's still worth a go, I think.
Gatford says, how can Kath be tired? Was she at A&E? No, solo.
Felt like I was. I'm just shattered.
Another thing, we'll come back to what you said in a minute when someone types in the screen what it was you said, because I wasn't listening. In the hospital, they were showing news channel on a loop. It's all on a loop, right? And then they said, well, now it's the sport. And so it went to a sport, I don't know her name.
Is that how they introduced it? And now it's the sport?
Yeah, right. So she's behind a desk, right? But it's like that. And I said to Betty, is that her knee? Is she sat doing the sport cross-legged and it was a proper dead news there with her knee up? I said, that is disgusting. I said, that is disrespectful to the viewer. Then the woman next to me went, yeah, we noticed that. That's really rude, isn't it? I said, yeah, it's rude. She's got her knee showing. You can't sit cross-legged.
Maybe her knee is growing in a different kind of way, and actually she can't put it down.
I thought it was funny that the lady next to me went, "Yeah, we spotted that." And
was it Mother Brown? Because she can't put them down.
Come on up, you come. This is my boy. This is my boy. Come up here, boy. Oh, you walked away, prick. It's George. That's George. My cat. I got cats. I've got 5 cats.
Here's another thing. You know, recently when I've been going to get my HRT prescription, I've had to wait like about another week or maybe sometimes 2 weeks to be able to get it because there's this shortage. But it's nothing to do with Brexit, obviously, even though it comes from France. It's nothing to do with Brexit. So yesterday I put the prescription request in.
It was not the head of a small chap, Daniel. Shame on you.
And I got a text message this morning saying it was ready. I thought, oh, how strange. Maybe they've sorted it out. They've changed my medication and not told me. And they've done that for everyone.
Is it just another brand of the same drug? A different
I have
brand?
no idea because no one's told us. So I got it through and I was like, I don't think this is right. And she went, oh, yeah, they've changed everyone's and not told them.
So you don't know if it's the same drug?
It's progesterone.
So it's the same drug? It's the
hormone.
Same. Well,
yeah.
What was the medicine you were on before?
It was a progesterone thing, but I have no idea what the difference was and why they put me on one rather than the other.
Okay. So it's progesterone was the drug you were on, right?
But it wasn't called that.
It was progesterone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what is it they've given you?
It's another form. It's another form of progesterone. Okay. I just think it's rude.
It's the same drug.
They can't. Part of me thinks, right? If men, I'm going to say it, if men went through perimenopause, they would be consulted more widely. But it's just
someone was listening to James O'Brien's monologue at 11 this morning. Oh,
really?
That's exactly what he was wanging on about.
Oh, was it? But I do think that it's like, oh, those dappy bitches won't notice the difference. Just get what you're given. You're lucky you're getting it. I mean, there's still women that are going in there and being told that they're too young and they should come back when they're 50.
Right. But just to go back to the point, it was progesterone that you were on, and the drug that they're giving you is not the company name, not the
proprietary brand. I have no idea whether it is or it isn't, but they've changed it without consulting me.
A minute ago, you were pretty sure it was progesterone.
It's progesterone.
So it's the same. It's the same. It's the end of that conversation.
I have no idea why I was prescribed one over the other, but they obviously do. So I should just trust them, shouldn't I? Because no one ever does anything wrong just for costs.
Please don't ask me how I know this, but you can buy Viagra. Can you get it over the counter? Yes, you can. You have to fill in a little form.
Yeah.
I've been told. And then you show them that. You can get Viagra or...
I'm already paying for it. I'm already paying for it.
Viagra?
No, my prescription.
Okay. Or you can buy another blue pill that's exactly the same chemical but it's just not called Viagra. So it's cheaper. And that's because Viagra were forced to release the chemical sildenafil or whatever it is.
Or something. You wouldn't know.
Obviously. I don't know, guys.
Like Pele. You would use it if you had to, but it's never been a problem.
I'm a man of a certain age. And it's exactly the same situation with you.
It's not. It's not, because you have you can choose and then you can research it beforehand. I was standing at the counter and was handing something I wasn't expecting. I don't know. It might be a pessary for all I know. I might just stick it on my bahookie.
Wowzers. If you need a hand, we can give it away as a prize on here. Terrible thing to say about a bee.
A bee?
In Prince's Risborough, near where I do live, tiny little street, there are 2 Lloyd's pharmacies in there. 2. Big one and a small one. 2 Lloyd's pharmacies. And for the last year, they've been shit. Like big old queues. They changed the prescription system and it did not work. And I would go in there. And what I ended up doing in the end was you get the repeat prescription, should take 3 days. So I would go in on day 3. Or 4 when it should have been ready. And they said, it's going to take an hour. I said, I'll come back later. And I actually come back 3 days later. I knew they weren't going to have it. So if I was in Risborough, I'd just go, I've got my prescription. Oh, it's going to take an hour. I'll be back later. Come back later. But you'd see people kicking off in there. And there's no point in that. People shouting at these kids that work.
It's not their fault.
No. But now both of those are being taken over by another company. And it says these pharmacists are being taken over by another company, but they will continue. But what the sad thing is, I used to speak to the Clarins lady.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I'd go in,
you can tell you're posh. You've got a Clarins department in Lloyd's Pharmacy.
And on the way out, she recognised me. She was a fan of mine from the jungle. The Clarins lady's gone, and they're being taken over. Gatford says our local Lloyd's is being taken over. Can't order any new stock. It's like the one. What is going on? Imagine it'd be some bloke in a trilby with a fag on. Yeah, would you want?
You don't want that. You don't want that. This is just the same. This is just the same.
This is Beau Jestin N.
Do you remember what the pharmacies we went into in Paris though? So in France, obviously, pharmaceuticals is big business. It's big national business.
Yeah, because it's not a big business over here, is it? Pharma. It's not a big business.
We import a lot of their stuff because they focus on it a lot more than we do.
Medicine is not a big business over here,
mate. I'm talking about the French pharmaceutical industry being one of their main exports.
And it's not. You're right. It's not big over here. I'm agreeing.
Well, it certainly isn't in my bloody chemist. They haven't ever got any of their shit in. Anyway, so we went.
Make it big.
So we went in there and they sold loads. Do you remember all the stuff that was in that chemist?
Yeah, they didn't sell shaving foam.
You wanted some shaving foam, but you could have bought flavoured lube.
Jimbo's in the house. Right, so we're talking about Viagra and flavoured lube. What are people going to think? What people are going to think I'm a P and you're a B, or maybe even vice versa. That's what they're going to think.
They had all sorts in there, apart from shaving foam. You'd think that Gillette sounds French. Gillette.
But Joe says, I tried 8 pharmacies with my HRT prescription last week. None of them had it in stock.
It's crazy.
You try and get antibiotics.
Okay, so you might need antibiotics for 2 weeks in your life. HRT is a treatment that will stop you going, maybe hurting yourself. But yeah, compare the two.
One more joke about Big Pharma, Farmer. Next person that does a Big Farmer joke, Dave and Roger, I've let go, right? One more. That's a timeout. No, we don't do that here. We don't. Hey, what was that Woody Harrelson opening on Saturday Night Live? Did you see it?
No. I don't like Saturday Night Live. It's a bit shit, isn't it?
But he was calling out. It was weird, right? Because I would have always thought
Woody Harrelson never.
I always thought it would have been a bit. Let's get a copyright strike. Because it's worth seeing. I couldn't work it out, but I think it's genuine.
What, you thought it was a spoof or spoof?
I thought it was a spoof. Poundland sell vibrators, said Sofa Bomb. That surprised me when picking up a pack of paracetamol. All right, so zoom screen. All right.
That's literally Cheap Thrills.
I don't want to watch the whole 6 minute. Here we go. Woody Harrelson silences SNL woke audience.
So the movie goes like this.
So he's pretending he's been sent a movie script. The movie goes like this, right? You ready?
Biggest drug cartels in the world get together and buy up all the media and all the politicians and force all the people in the world to stay locked in their homes. And people can only come out if they take the cartel's drugs and keep taking them over and over. I threw the script away. I mean, who is gonna believe that crazy idea?
That's crazy.
Okay, that bit's not there. So he's calling out COVID as a conspiracy on SNL.
And, you know, Woody Harrelson is a reliable source for this shit, so I'll definitely take what he's got to say.
And I don't...
Some people might say that people that smoke a lot of gear will wax on about this kind of shit, but I won't hear a word against that man.
But what I don't know, this is what I'd like to know. I guess this is where the confusion is. He was reading that. It really looks like he's reading that, because SNL is all cue cards, right? Has to be, because it's all kind of written very close to the thing. So is he reading that? Therefore, is that SNL's line? Is that the line they're following? Is that the thing, or is he gone rogue? But you can't go rogue Well, I suppose you can, because it's live on one coast and then it's pre-recorded and shown on the other. So did he go rogue?
What's the punchline that he was a daft old stoner?
No, that was the punchline was he was sent a movie script but he turned the movie down because it's ridiculous. Who would believe that? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. People in the chat I look to for Jimbo is basically who I'm waiting. I'm waiting for a response from Jimbo because he's the kind of person that could be able to explain that to me. Was he rogue? I don't think he was. I think he was reading it. Is that the SNL line that COVID is a conspiracy to control people? Gary says it's satire. I don't think you know what satire means. Don't think you know what it is. Neil Oliver on it next week. Or in that case, he'll probably do the opposite.
Is he satire? That would explain it.
Yeah. Oh, I love Neil Oliver. I told you I went for that job and that he got on that. But anyway,
no, not Neil Oliver. You're thinking of the Coast guy.
Oh, I'm thinking of who's Oliver?
John Oliver. Neil Oliver is a completely different fish.
I went for the gig on GB News. Neil Oliver.
Your bandana wouldn't stay up, wouldn't it?
Jimbo says, I doubt it is SNL policy. They're mostly lefty non-conspiracy folks. But then what happened, Jim? What? John Oliver in Community is great. What happened there, Jim? What was that? What was going on? What did we just see? What did we experience together as a community? Can you explain it, please? And if you can't explain it, you're going to get timed out like everybody is tonight. Everybody. Before the end of the show, everyone will have timed out. He could quite easily go rogue. Lots have before. Who knows? Who knows? I am going to have to time you out, though, as I promised. Before the end of the show, everybody will be timed out. If you haven't been timed out, let me know, and I'll time you out. How's about them apples? And I think that's all I had to talk about today. So I'm done.
Apart from the fact that we were kept in for maybe 2 years on a false premise, and what we need to look for are the triangles. Have you heard that one?
Go on. What?
I was looking on TikTok the other day, and there was someone going on about Rihanna's performance at the Super Bowl and how many triangles were visible, and it's all about the Illuminati and how she's signaling, and she was wearing red, and Sam Smith had worn red, and it's all to do with the devil and all. Flipping out, man. Go outside, touch some grass.
Smoke some grass.
Smoke less grass.
All those magic cigarettes. Look at me, and I'm so stoned. Quiet Bloke says, I haven't typed anything till now, so I don't know if I've been timed out. Tell you what, do it now. There you go, buddy. There you go, timed out.
It's even quieter.
The next 5 people to comment get timed out, and I know it's unfair because there's a time delay, so you won't see this until it's too late. So the next 5 are going to get timed out. Pieces of trash that you are.
Listen, my youngest has been talking to me a lot recently about how she'd like to host a show with you.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got an idea for the opening tomorrow's show. which I've yeah.
Is it an SNL opening?
I'll message you. Hang on, Gatford sent me a message. What is this?
Timing me out, you coward.
What did he say?
I think he called you a prick.
Timing me out, you coward.
He says, "Tumming me out, you coward."
Yeah.
How did he get my phone number?
I don't know. It's obviously out there on the dark web.
I'm going to send you a message, okay? So this is WhatsApp. You got WhatsApp open?
Yeah.
All right, don't tell them. I want to see if we can get AI to write an opening for the show, and then I'll get the boys to do it. One is me and one is you.
Okay. Well, what about
WhatsApp?
Okay.
WhatsApp.
All right. Let me just. Can I?
I think that'd be funny.
I've got a message.
I want to see if we can get AI to write an opening for the show, and then I get the boys to do it. One is me and one is you.
All right. That's a really good idea. Why is my part going to a privileged white male? Actually, I've got a privileged white female that could do it.
Good
idea. Why is my part going to a privileged white male? Actually, I've got.
I can't bother to listen to what you have to say, because your girls are fiercely protected by you and never allowed on the. If one of them what the hell are you doing? If one of them wants to do it, then they can do it. I'll send an emoji.
Your girls are fiercely protected by you and never allowed on the. If one of them what the hell are you doing?
That's Pat.
If one of them wants to do it, then they could do it.
Okay. Why have you sent me that emoji? You know that's offensive, right? It looks like one
that's hang
in
tough.
the pink and one in the.
Oh, there's not one in the pink. Pat's.
Also, this is an expressly strongly held view. Hang on a minute, she's going to tell you herself. Tell him yourself.
What?
He's trying to give your part to one of those boys.
Ask if she wants to play you on
Do you want
tomorrow
to play
night's
me
show.
tomorrow on tomorrow night's show?
Yes.
Was she allowed to do it?
Yeah.
Wait, can I actually?
Yeah.
I'll come dressed as you then.
She's going to come dressed as me.
All right. I don't know if my boy. I think Big Al might. I don't know.
I mean, would we notice the difference?
Yes.
Just for
Can
the
you do
opening,
my
not for the
voice
whole
though?
thing.
No.
Come here and do an impression of my voice. It's just we need to do the audition.
It's Biggin who has the good voice.
No, you can do it.
No, I can't.
There we go.
That was awful.
Get her to say bath and glass and
Say
pass.
bath and glass.
Bath and glass.
And pass.
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 Now to say it without the P at the beginning.
Now say it without the P on the beginning.
No.
She's not daft.
I'm not
You
daft.
two are screwed when they start their own Patreon.
We'll be like Kiss. We'll just pass it on.
Get her to say, just got me a haircut.
Littlin, come here a minute. Can you say this? Can you say? Go on then.
Just got me haircut. Well, no, that sounded Luton.
You didn't salute it at all.
Oh, okay.
Say it again.
Just got me haircut.
Can you ask him what's the best shop in Wakefield?
What's the best shop in Wakey?
Wiki Wines.
Wine.
Are they still going? One of them was a drug dealer, right?
Was he?
Yeah, but years ago.
Okay. Well, he's turned himself around. Now he's become a small businessman with an eye for social media publicity.
Stop biting me. Pats is a bit of a biter. Clearline says, Ian, not that you aren't always brilliant, but since you quit Jack, your mojo has definitely come back. Oh, I 100% agree. I mentioned this in the Discord the other day. Since, is this week 3? Maybe week 3 or week 4. Honestly, these shows are so. I mean, I always enjoyed them, but sometimes it was a bit. Oh my god, I've done a 3-hour show, and then I've been, counselling, and then I got to this. It's really hard work, and it's still, after today, this is so much more fun for me to do. So much more fun for me to do, and it doesn't feel like a chore. Doing 7 shows a week is a lot, and after Christmas, Jack was always a bit. But after Christmas, when they got rid of Will, and it dawned on me, oh shit, this is just me reading the newspapers. You can yawn, I don't mind. This is just me reading the newspapers, and this show is actually shit, and they've taken away everything that I wanted. It was, I totally agree. These shows are so much better. So much better. And also, I'm lifting Catherine up, because being a B, she kind of pulls the vibe down, but I'm lifting her up because I'm a P.
And P's rise and B's drag you down.
Isn't it? Hello, Pats.
Fun and games.
Your breath stinks when you yawn in my face. Yeah? You all right, kid?
How's Pat's breath these days?
It stinks. Absolutely
Still.
stinks. Yeah, absolutely stinks. Isn't it? It's rotten. I'm not taking you to the vets because I don't want to spend a load more money.
Do you think she needs a bum milking or something?
A bum? It's nothing to do with a bum.
It's all connected. It's one pipe, isn't it?
No. I remember when Velvet had a stinky ass and I phoned up the vet and they said, what's wrong? I said, I'm embarrassed. No, go, it's fine. Her arse stinks. Okay, yes. It'll be her anal glands will need milking. Graham says you can't milk a bum. Literally, they showed me how to do it. You put a finger up and squeeze it. And it's like mustard seeds came out. And I said, I am never doing it again. I'm never doing that. They said, well, otherwise it'll cost you money. I said, I'm very, very happy to pay that money. Very happy to pay that money.
Touch wood. I mean, how old was she when we got to that stage?
Oh, no, that was... I was in Muswell Hill, so she was, I don't know, 10.
All right, cool.
No, probably about 7 or 8, actually.
Right. So mine is still quite young. We're not at the milking stage.
She got really ill. I just remember she got really, really ill, and she stopped eating and went really thin, and they couldn't find out what was wrong with her. And she had to go and stay in cat hospital for like 2 weeks, and she was connected to it cost about $4,000. She was connected to a drip, and they couldn't work out what. I thought it was a cat tumor or something like that. And then after about 5 weeks, she just started eating again. And then nothing happened.
Stressed out, was she?
I don't know. It was weird. Maybe she was on a bit of a diet. I don't know. But it was weird. Well, I missed that little girl.
Touch wood, Yoko stopped peeing at the bottom of the stairs, so whatever was unsettling her before seems to have calmed down.
Yes. Basil has had a problem with his anal glands, says Jimbo Hawks. He's sorted now. That is great news. Round of applause.
Wash your finger.
I'm ignoring your vulgar jokes, your vulgarities. G-Cuffs, we're up. Got to go. Thanks, guys. Are you going to be seen or are you going home because everything's sorted, G-Cuffs? I'm assuming you're going in to be seen. Best of luck. G-Cuffs is in the hospital I was at today, but with his 8-month-old. I don't want that raising an angry fist.
Pesky kids.
You pesky kids. Lots of luck. Fingers crossed. Well, no, fingers crossed. They'll sort it. But I know how stressful it is to be in A&E with a kid. Jimbo says, I was at hospital with Jenna yesterday. I hope Jenna's all right. Send her my best. I hope she's much better. What a day. What a couple of days for hospitals. I'm really hungry, but I'm trying to eat significantly better.
Uh-huh.
And I really want to order a pizza. I'm not going to order a pizza because I've done so well this week. But I really want a pizza. That's the thing with my eating, right? Is normally I will eat really well, and then about 8, 9 o'clock, I go, I've eaten really well. And I go and eat a load of toast and sweet stuff, but I eat it really quick. I gorge on it.
Yeah.
And I've avoided doing that this week. I mean, it's only Thursday.
There are a few distractions at this time of night, aren't there? So, like during the day, you can keep yourself busy. I'll go and do something else. I won't like linger around the bread bin or whatever. But you know, it's that time of night now where you think, "Oh, I've been so good all day. Let's just have a look what's going on in the cupboard." I
can murder a pizza, Domino's. Jimmy says we thought Jenna's Achilles had literally torn. She described the sound like a rifle.
Oosh. That is revolting.
It's a really bad spray. This is just a spray. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Did you see Gogglebox this week? Friday. There was someone, and it was based around there's a programme that's based around the Queen's Medical Centre in Nottingham, where I used to cut through every day to go to university, which can't have been right. And we all did it. There was like your cat trail. There would have been one of those through the
cats leave. There's 2 trails in the garden where the cats, they just all eat one of these 2 paths. They do not stray. Do not stray off the path.
That was us students through the QMC. But apparently, so they've got this show now that's about the goings on at the QMC. This woman went in and she'd come off a bouncy castle at a fun run. And her ankle was broken and the bone was sticking through the side. They had to hold her down and she was like lashing out at the nurses. I think she slapped one round the head. And then they managed to pop her ankle back in. But it was the most revolting open break I've seen for a long time.
I would love to pop a joint back in the hole.
It was horrible. It was like a side meat.
Sophie says, round the corner from me. Daniel says, same Catherine, I used to cut through there and study in the medical library.
Well, I had nothing to do with the medical library. I had nothing to do with the hospital. I was a languages student, but we used to chop through there to get to campus.
L'hospital.
El hospital.
El hospitales. The bitches and the pricks in el hospitales. You can say it in a foreign language.
How do you say hospital in French?
L'hospital.
No.
Oui.
No.
Le palais des morts.
L'hôpital.
L'hôpital.
And what is the noise that the ambulance?
Pimpon. Pimpon, pimpon.
Pimpon.
Pimpon, pimpon. Pimpon.
We had a lot of pimpon in Paris, didn't we? And then it turned out that Netanyahu was in town.
Oh, was that Netanyahu? The suite were there and all streets were closed off late at night. And thump.
8:30. I've set an alarm. It's Lady Gaga's telephone. And it means, kids, you got to plug your phones in, bring them down from your bedrooms. They do not stay upstairs after 8:30.
We cannot hear the alarm. David says, my favourite is the French word for library. Bibliothèque.
Alexa, stop.
We can't really hear it, Catherine, because your Zoom is not set up to play ambient noise. You have to set it up.
It's Gaga and Beyonce telephone.
Le bibliothèque. Le boulangerie. Ow, what you bite? What's this biting?
What was it that David likes the word for?
He likes the English word for bibliothèque. No, the French word for library.
Bibliothèque.
I know. That's why I was saying.
What is it in Spanish?
Well, don't give a shit. I'm not going to read a Spanish book. Why would I ever go to Why would I be in Spain and go, I'd like to go to a library? Why would I ever do that? I'd take my Kindle.
They might be selling prick medicine in there.
Yeah. Do you know what, actually? I remember when I went to Spain, they weren't. It's being sold by bitches. Bitches were selling prick medicine.
I think you'll find it was bichos, and that means little creatures. But they probably did call you a gilipollas, which means prick.
Yeah, and they called you a cunt.
Which isn't that offensive in Spanish, it turns out.
Yeah, but we're not in Spain. We're in fucking Britain, you absolute... You're a massive...
Wow. This is fun. This is like Duolingo, but like after dark, like when Hollyoaks went after dark.
I like her. She's good. She's British.
Who?
Duolingo.
You silly son.
That's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a good one. I just made that up. Literally, I have no idea where that came from. It came from my noodle. I don't know what. I need to be seen by a doctor.
Yeah, prick one.
Okay. You're right. Actually, I deserve a 3-minute timeout for that, Daniel. So let's do that and let's see how Catherine copes. Hang on a second. Hey Google, can you set a 3-minute timeout alarm for me, please?
Yeah.
All right, 3 minutes, and we're starting now.
I'm so glad we've got this time together because normally that prick always intervenes. So, I wanted to say how grateful I am for your support over the years, despite the fact that it always gets ruined by. No, hang on. Him. And whenever I speak, he always jumps in. And I know how irritating it is for you. So I appreciate the fact that you bear with me despite.
Willie Talk with Steve Allen.
And also, I mean, we used to fill up the champagne bottles and take them away with us. You know, nobody knows. Nobody knows. But Prosecco and pies. I've not had a good steak and kidney pie for ages. I love steak and kidney pie. That would be lovely with a portion of chips. But the good news is... Come closer. I don't want to shout this. It'll be very embarrassing. OK, come closer. Apparently, willies have grown by 24% in the last 70 years. There's something to ponder on for the programme this morning. I tell you what, we'll all be getting out the old slide rule, won't we, and sort of having a little bit of a measure up to find out. Because, you know, in the past 70 years, the trouble is I didn't, when I was born, actually get it measured. I think it should have been on the birth certificate. Steve Allen, you know, born, created, 3.5 inches. You know, I mean, anything really. But grown by 24%. Why would that be? I don't know. Are people hanging weights on them?
And we're back. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. The emergency tape kicked in there. I do apologise. I do apologise for that. The emergency tape kicked in. I did not kick Catherine out of the. I did not kick Catherine out of the Zoom. She left herself. I didn't kick her out. I wouldn't do that.
You.
Sorry?
You.
Why did you leave? I didn't kick you out of the Zoom. I just put you back in the waiting room.
Okay, well, that's unorthodox. So it looks like you were hoisted by your own petard there a little bit.
I wasn't. You left.
You hoisted by your own bastard.
You need to come back.
I think you've been a bit of a silly prick.
I think you're a twat.
I can't come back in because I was on my own, so I don't know what to do there with that.
I sent you the Zoom. It's the Zoom link. Click on the Zoom link.
Why?
Because apparently some people in the chat like you. Some of the ladies, some of the lonely ladies like you because you're a lonely woman, and they want to identify.
What about you, though, Ian? What about you?
What about me? I'm a cool guy.
What are your thoughts on this evening?
Couldn't give a shit.
Okay, well, carry on.
Hang on. Do your eye up close. I want to do the eye thing again. Right, hang on. Which eye are you going for? All right. Hang on. No, go, put it down a bit. There it is. Do the mouth. Do the mouth. Can you do it side? Can you do a side on? Can you not do it side on?
Were you asking me to do it side on?
Do it side on. Can you turn your phone? What happens if you turn your phone?
Oh, right, this way.
That's upside down. That's upside down.
Okay.
That's upside down. There you go. Nice and close on those pearly whites. Okay, come back into the Zoom now, you absolute melt.
I'm not sure I
can. She went of her own accord, Dave. You did pay for this. You did pay for this, Gary Gatford Redrup. So deal with it. I'm so hungry. This is where the head goes. Go to Domino's. Go to Domino's. Go to Domino's. I'm not going to get a Domino's, but I can make. I've got food. Patty. Big boy's going to jump up. This will end in a fight. This is Catherine saying, I can't get in the Zoom. What's she saying?
why be so with that emoji? You know that's offensive, right?
Okay, that's it. I mean, what do you got? What do you want? Order a cheeky Chinese takeaway then. That way it won't be a Domino's. Shannon, this is insane. This is insane. I do get my little obsessions to buy things, not necessarily food. I'm hungry, but I'll go make something in a bit after this. But my previous obsession was buying an Xbox Series S. Don't know, I'm talking like that for the bedroom, and I managed to get my way out of that. Then it was going to be an electric bicycle, and I've managed to talk myself out of that. Then David said, "Well, why don't you get a Series X?" And so I need to talk my way out of that. That's what I need to do. Is Catherine coming? What the fudge is this? Here's what I'm going to do. You guys come in. No, Richard, you don't. In fact, you have to pay double for this. Here we go. You guys come in. You can be Kath. You can't make jokes like that, David. It's not funny. Here's the interesting thing. Chip, how much did you spend on a watch? Here's the interesting thing. Catherine has not even bothered she's not bothered to message me saying I can't come in. And she's certainly not bothered to come and join the chat, which she could do at any moment. Any moment. And she has made the decision, you know what? That show's done. Oh, hang on, she's done a message here.
Hi, can I go to bed, or are you going to... could you please resend, because my email seems to have swallowed the link.
Look for the fucking email with the link in. I will send it again, but you're an idiot. Zoom is full of spies. Zoom is full of spies. What is that button? That's not the right button. Zoom is full of spies. There we go, send. Someone called Steve has died. Rip Steve. Oh no, the bass player from Pulp. Oh no. Steve Mackay, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, sorry. Legendary bassist of Pulp and established producer. Oh no, well that's really, really sad. That's really sad. Well, that's that sucks. That sucks. Let's see what we got here. We got Zoom 2 people. Have you just had a haircut? Can't hear you, mate.
I can hear.
Can't hear you, mate.
Yes, you can.
Are you doing the thing where you pretend, when you mouth words? You just had a haircut. Just had a haircut.
Just had a haircut. I only spent £20 on a watch, so that's okay. Jo found out she was still angry.
Good.
Understandably so. Yep. But that's my session. I'm going to say this before Catherine comes in. Get an S.
Too late.
Just get an S. Oh, fuck. Just get an S.
He's saying S and he means S for sex. Get a sex.
Get some S. Get some S it right up, lad.
Get an S what?
But you were telling me to get an X.
Yeah, but I was joking because you said you don't need an X.
I
was joking.
How much is an X?
What are we talking about?
Xboxes.
Oh.
Sex boxes.
Sorry, Catherine's got the other one.
How much is an X?
An X is £450. You don't need that.
Here's the thing, and I don't, right? Because
these children are judging you.
I don't want to be judged by those.
When I bought a TV for the bedroom, I didn't get 4K. Didn't get any. I couldn't give a shit about 4K, 60 FPS, 30 FPS. Don't care. I can't tell the difference, and neither can you.
Well, I absolutely can.
You can't.
It's my job.
Oh well, I like this game, but if you want to play it, well, we've got to have it on 30 FPS. If you want, was that techno lighting? What's if you want the?
It's called ray tracing.
If you want the ray tracing, then you can't play the game. You can only do it in the menu. What the fuck is ray tracing anyway? Light.
It's light, man. Yeah,
if you want it ray tracing with the good lights, you can't. You've got to put it down to 30 FPS. I really think they need to. No, they don't need to sort it out.
If you carry on talking like that, you're going to get a copyright strike from us. All right. It's too similar to the actual pod. Yeah, just get an S. Catherine, let him get an S.
How much is
he
it?
can do what he wants. It's not my money.
I saw one for £180. But then
that's really good.
I might as well get my one, and it's one of the posh ones. It's not the big one; it's the sleek one.
Yeah, they're nice.
It's the same. It's better than the.
Ian,
it's not.
Buy whatever you want, but I don't want to hear one single thing about. Oh, Kath, what have I done?
I don't
feel shit about it.
Yeah, that is a problem. But I'm doing it with watches at the moment, so that's way worse.
David is
because you
obsessed
can't
with
even
watches.
do anything with it.
Do they tell the same time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they tell the same time. They do.
There's not like a time upgrade that goes with them, and
no. I've got a smartwatch that does more than a watch, and I've had that for about 3 years, and that's just sitting uncharged on by the side of my bed at the moment.
What was the story you told me about your missus and her smartwatch?
Oh, that was so she used to get really angry about losing her phone, and she lost it all the time.
Yeah.
So then she was talking about, I might get a cheap smartwatch. So I said, okay, yeah, I'll get you a cheap smartwatch. And I found one. It was only like 30 quid, but it had a button on it that made her phone beep. So if she lost it, she could find it easily. So I gave it to her, and 2 days later, she went, I've lost my phone. Do you know where my phone is? And I went, well, use your watch. I got you the watch. She went, I've lost my watch. So I don't think... Oh, she found it in the garage. Like about a couple of weeks ago, she found it in the garage.
Oh, that reminds me. I had a spooky moment the other night. So it was about 11 o'clock. The kids had finally settled down. I thought, right, I'll go and get that crappy washing in from the dryer, which I have in the garage, right? In the tumble dryer. Best thing I ever bought. Cheapo. But when you've got we've had them since they were babies, right? And when you're doing a lot of like turnover of clothes, and also the amount at which I slop down my clothes, you need to be able to turn those clothes around.
Catherine so I went out slops down her clothes, and she claims she isn't a bee.
No comment.
I've got a very busy mouth, and it's not always in the place where I think that I'm aiming my fork at. So anyway, I went in the garage, and the front door of the garage was open. We've got one of those garage doors that like on an electronic.
That open up.
Yeah. And I went, oh shit! How's that happened? Not that anyone could get anything out. It's like garage Jenga at the front of our garage, but still. I went back in the house and looked for the garage key. Could not find it. And then immediately my mind went to, they've been in the house. They've got the garage key. I've just got in the middle of. I've just intervened in a robbery of my shit. Literally, my bike that doesn't work, and the lawnmower that never gets used, and all that stuff all piled up. They're going to work their way through it. And then I realised that I heard Littleton walking about upstairs. You haven't seen the garage key, have you? I was looking all over the place. I tidied up. That's how bad it was. I tidied up trying to find the garage key. Yeah. I had it about 3 weeks ago when I went riding my bike. It's probably still in my coat pocket. And that's when I realised what had happened. Coat had been on the floor. I had trod on the coat. So my foot had activated the garage door. Whoa. And there were no burglars.
This is like a Knives Out.
Yeah, it was awful.
This is like the end of Knives Out.
I even rang their dad and went, you haven't been round to like pop round and like open the garage door? No. He said, no, I haven't. My response was, gulp.
David, did you just spoil Knives Out?
Yeah. He opened the gate. Daniel
She's
Craig
not seen it.
opened the garage door by stepping on a coat. It was it was quite a twist.
And had a kid had the bike out like 3 weeks before, and that's why I was in the.
Yeah, it reminds me of a story when I was going to college, so I must have been 17, and I remember heading to the bus stop. I used to get the bus. I walked past the row of shops on the way to the bus stop, and I saw a dog tied up outside the shop. Looked exactly like my family dog, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Because it was a Greyhound Whippet cross, right? And so quite red, like not the sort of dog you see. Like, hello, darling. All right, okay, you can give me 5 minutes. So I walked past this dog, and then the dog looked up at me, and I went, "No," and it was my dog. Because I'd taken him for a walk to the shops about an hour earlier, tied him up outside, and just went home, forgot that he was tied up outside. I've never felt so bad in all my life. decided to walk back with him. And so he must have seen me come out the shop and then just walk off. And he's just standing there looking at me going, what do I do now?
It's like me when he turns the Zoom link off.
Oh yeah, that was a bit mean, wasn't it?
Can you hang on a minute? If I play this, can you guys, you probably can't. Can you hear this?
No.
Really faintly.
All right. Okay. Well, can we do a little role play, David?
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Would you allow me to live out a fantasy of mine? Would that be okay?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Why not? I'm always here for your fantasies, Ian.
Hello.
Hello. Is that James?
Yeah.
All right. How you doing?
You always laugh at me when I answer the phone. What is that?
Well, because you sound grumpy, mate. Cheer up a little bit, eh? We're here to talk about Quantum Mania.
I've eaten too much cheese.
Okay, right. Well, how did you get into
left
the box?
the cheese box unlocked, so it's her fault.
You told Catherine about that, right?
No.
No, I've got a cheese
sorry,
box.
you're still James. So James Farley has a box in his fridge, which his family keep the cheese in, that is padlocked with a combination
that wasn't a joke.
lock.
That wasn't. I thought that was for comical reasons.
No, that's legitimately real. That's what they've done to him. Yeah. So you got into the cheese, did you, James?
Chen left the box unlocked, so of course I ate the cheese. And now I feel cheese drunk, and it's her fault. But she says it's my fault. Oh, it's a mess.
Oh dear. So, what did you think of Ant-Man? Was it good?
I thought it was. I thought it was all right. I like Ant-Man. I know you don't, but there was no Cap in there. I like Cap with a beard.
He does like Cap with a beard, doesn't he?
I like Cap with a beard.
Are you excited about tomorrow's big day tomorrow? So a very secret episode of Marvel Calls that no one knows about.
Oh yeah, I don't want to talk about it. I'm going to go off and have to have a cheese wank.
Okay, enjoy your cheese wank, and thanks for the call, James. Take it easy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Scene. One of my great fantasies. Thank you so much, Dave. It's like singing with Paul McCartney on stage at Glastonbury. Exactly
just nowhere near as cool. I'm going to leave you with Alistair now because I need to go and
I
make
forgot
sure
you and
Joe's
Alistair
okay
had a big falling out, didn't you? You can't be on the same Zoom call as him.
Yeah, I feel bad about it, but when Alistair's ready to forgive me, then I'm here for you, man.
Are we playing Walkabout Mini Golf in a bit?
Yep.
Good lad. Chowsy chow.
Are you sure? Because it looked like you just got told off.
I did just get told off. Chowsy chow chow.
Chowsy chow chows. Alistair's here.
Oh, I can't hit the leave button.
Is he here? Is he here or is he frozen?
Alistair.
Alistair.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm just phoning up.
It's the year 2036 and everyone you know is no longer with us. But we do have time.
We're our own children.
Yeah. We
It
are
feels like
clones.
that. It feels like that.
Speaking of that, I watched a film the other day that was shit.
Yeah, can be done easily.
The Door into Summer. Japanese
No.
time travel film. Nah, mate, don't bother with it. It's so obvious. It was just obvious. Oh, you're right. So you're going to go back and do that, is it? All right, yeah, fair play.
So what have I missed so far?
Now
of the show?
You
Sweet
missed
FA.
the B word, the P word.
Yeah, mostly
the
that.
C word.
Oh.
Yeah, I called you that. Daniel says,
You
the other
did.
news, listen to the Lena pod today. Thank you for that. Ian and Catherine, very beautiful. You're very welcome. It's been a lot of fun, Alistair, but a lot of home truths have been spat out.
Yes.
Oh. All right, well, I hope there's no ill feeling because of that.
We hate each other.
No more than usual. Just nurturing those grudges. How are you anyway? Did you have any sweet dreams?
My dreams are really weird, and I think it's because I don't know whether it's because it's diabetes or medications I'm on, but they're always very vivid.
Uh-huh.
And usually I kind of remember them, which I never used to be able to. I can now, and This one was about me going back to university and being involved in a class, but it was more like being back at school rather than university then. And then I was in trouble for misbehaving and had to catch up and sort of be very good with the teacher and that. So yeah, it was all very strange. Yeah.
Well, now I'm a university teacher, Alistair, so perhaps I could put you through your paces.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's maybe it.
Maybe it is. So on Monday, if you'd like to join my class, I'll be teaching you how to turn something on.
That's for a question, Catherine. I was thinking, actually, I mean, would I be able to join your radio classes? It's all about radio, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but it's a degree course, so you'd have had to have been a very good boy and done your exams beforehand. But it's really the very basic stuff. I'm reliably informed, so I should not be out of my depth until at least class 2. But I'm looking forward to it. They've just finished their TV introductory course of 5 weeks, and now they're going to do radio. And unfortunately, not many of them listen to radio because there's nothing to listen to that people of 18 years of age are massively passionate about.
Well, there's all creativity has been killed.
Well, I started to really wish that there was something like what we used to do on talk radio that I could indicate to them and say, have a listen to you think radio is boring and for your mums and dads, have a listen to this. What do I send them to? It's a real shame, but I will find something. I'll find something. I'll find a way.
Is it about producing then?
It's audio production to start with, yeah. So really it's just the very beginnings of recording, getting it into the system, editing, very, very basic stuff to start with. So their first
technicalities of it, and using editors, softwares, and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's first year, so it's the very first time I've actually like putting their hands on one of these recording devices. So, but I get 5 weeks, and let's see what happens after that.
Excellent, good.
Iain, what are you doing there? I can see you doing a concentration phase.
Having to do a couple of quick emails. It's fine. Be with you in a minute.
Oh, nothing. I'm just scratching my head trying to get my brain to work. But with it just sort of I'm just trying to wind it up, really.
Are you well, though, generally, in yourself?
Not too bad. Just the normal ups and downs, normal frustrations, really. But I'm okay. I think I needed that sleep.
Obviously,
it's kind of a post-dinner nap, really. But yes, all good. I had a slight panic yesterday because I ran out of cat treats.
How could you?
And I wasn't going to be able to get out until a little bit later, and I kept saying to the cat, Jeannie, go and eat your dinner. I put the dinner out. And she's always been that one that needs encouragement to eat a dinner at the best of times. And usually that means that she's come in and then I've given her some treats, and then she goes and eats something. But
Alistair, she's got used to an amuse-bouche before the main meal. That's the thing.
Well, that's it. Yeah, she was really pissed off with me that I hadn't got any treats and she wasn't going to eat a dinner. So that made me worry about the fact that she was, starving herself.
No.
And, what do I do anyway? I did get some eventually. And now, but she still won't eat a dinner much at the moment. I don't know. Are yours good with food?
My God, mine! I have to put mine in 3 separate rooms at the moment because as soon as the dinner goes down, Yoshi starts bam, 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 eats his, moves on to Yoko's. Yoko moves on to Willow's. Willow backs off, and we'll end up having nothing. So I have to put them in 3 separate rooms. So I say, table for 1, madam, and I put her in the hallway. Yoshi's up on his hind legs like this. You could just hang on. It's like feeding time at the zoo. I need a whip and a chair.
What about yours, Iain? Are yours do they eat their food?
They're eating too much. Sorry about that. I just had to clean up some of the mess from today being in hospital. I was in the hospital with Betty for 5 hours, Alistair, and it just knocked a few things.
Oh, is Betty not well?
She had a little fall about 100 yards up the road, and I had a knock on the door from someone who'd kind of put her in a car and brought her home, and she said, "Oh, your next door neighbour's had a fall." So I went round and I made the grown-up decision to take her to A&E, which and she was fine, but it was the right thing to do. We were there for hours. My cats are on a diet because they've all got a bit chunky, and they get a bit chunky over the winter, but it's not shifting. And Lucky in particular, who's normally very, very slim, has got a bit of a belly on her. So, yeah, they're on a diet and they hate me for it. That's where we're at the moment.
But normally there's quite an operation, isn't there? You get all the bowls on the table and put them down as quickly close together as possible.
Do the 5 bowls. 3 go down in front of me immediately. That's Pat's, Muck's, and Big Boy. Then George and Lucky are over by the door with the 2. It's you've got to have a system. Everyone's got to have a system.
Yeah, because they're easily offended, cats, aren't they? For some reason, they just and then. They make sure that you know that you've not behaved correctly.
Yes.
When I used to go away on a holiday, Velvet would not speak to me for a week. I'd come in, I'd feed her, she'd eat it, and then she'd run up to the end of the garden and wouldn't come anywhere near me for a week. And then after a week, it was back to normal.
Whereas mine are just, right, you're back. So dinner?
Katie's right. They take everything personally. They do. Visionary. My one's got the hump because I cut a meal out. They get so pissed off. It's incredible. And Betty's been telling me about the cat, because all the cats go and hang out in her garden, and there's a blanket under a little gazebo that George used to love sitting on, but now Dennis is sitting on it, and apparently he just keeps walking up and down past it, looking at it, giving it the evils. So. Yeah, cats is the best, man. Why would you not have cats? Yeah. 5 is too many.
They're so weird. They're such weird creatures to share your house with.
And I'm glad that you encouraged me to get a cat. But I did it because there was no dogs available. It was in the middle of lockdown. Of course, everybody else, a lot of people went and got dogs. So a lot of the rescue centres and RSPCA were kind of short of dogs. And then being part of the TLNA community, and listening to you guys about your cat tales, I thought, well, maybe yes, a cat would be a great idea.
I love
it. It was.
You love that cat, don't you, Alistair? It always warms my heart when I hear about your little interactions.
Oh, she's so great, and when she comes up and snuggles, and she kind of does that special sort of clinging on. And then you can hear her right next to your ear, and she's purring away. Yeah. And you think, this is they're just very great companions.
Does she slap you awake in the morning, though? Because one of mine does.
Occasionally. Yes.
Richard has moved up north. My cats are moving up here a week on Friday. Catlets at the Mo. Yeah, I had a couple of years when I didn't live with Velvet, and I had to move out of the home, and I was living in a flat, and I wasn't allowed to have a cat there, and so that was awful, actually.
It's the thing of there always been something going on, right? So you come back to the house and you have to join in with the action because there's been something going on, and you need to work out what's happening with them. And I can't remember what it's like to be in a house where there's nothing happening until you get there,
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Funky gear change, Ian.
Yes.
So I thought about this question the other day.
Go on.
Do this. I have random things come into my head. So I was thinking about you and your counselling. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And tell me to. I mean, I know you don't really want to talk about it, really. As such.
By the way, we might have some randoms coming into the Zoom because I just posted the link on Twitter.
Well, because why wouldn't you?
Do you ever? Is this a random or?
This is Lewis. Good evening, Lewis.
Hi, Lewis.
Lewis, are you a random? We have non-patron, long-time listener. Lewis, are you a patron or are you just a random?
Just a random.
Just a random. Lovely, lovely. Did you see the link on Twitter?
Yeah, so I thought you just put it as a mistake.
Yeah, I know. That's what I make it look like, right? We catch people like you. How you doing, Lewis?
All good, mate. All good.
Okay. Well, you're welcome to hang around. We might see a penis at some point. That happens quite a lot.
Not mine.
No, not mine.
It might be mine.
We're streaming on YouTube, Lewis. This is a little show that we do. You're very welcome. P, you're very welcome. And non-patron, long monk time listener is connected. Alistair, yes, back to you, please, sir.
So do you ever envisage getting a client, maybe after a few weeks, you think, blimey, now, just pull yourself together, man, and leave me alone?
Well, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing I've learned, that in the client-counselor relationship, anything is possible, right? And if I ever felt that, I think actually it's quite common for some people to do that. Luke Newman, for men to talk. I think it's quite common, actually, but I would acknowledge that, and I would reflect on it, and I would go and see my supervisor. This is why you have a supervisor. Every month you need 90 minutes with a supervisor. And you can say, let me use Catherine. So I've got this client. She's called Catherine. That's all I would, identifying stuff I would reveal. And she's, do you know what? Whenever she's there, I'm so fucking pissed off with her. Just really pissed off. And she's getting on my nerves, and I don't want to work with her. And we would look at why that was, and it would be because Catherine is a dick. And, and you look at that, and you look at why that is and stuff. So yeah, it's very, very possible that that could be a thing, and I think it's probably quite common.
I tell you something, Alistair, have a look at couples therapy. It's on the BBC iPlayer at the moment, and you see her actually talk to her supervisor, and it's really, I just find it really interesting peek behind the scenes of, you know, a room that was only ever meant to be seen by 3 people, right? So you've got the couple and you've got the therapist, and then she goes and she has meetings. She also has meetings with her peer group, so other counsellors. I find it really fascinating, really fascinating.
So I was watching, I think maybe what prompted it, I was watching Shrinking, which is on Apple TV.
Oh yeah, I want to see that.
Which is so about a comedy and stuff like that.
Hello.
And basically,
by the way, I'm loving Ben Peterman. Ben has got no idea what he's just stumbled into, but I'm loving this. And Luke, I spot you, Luke. We'll be with you in a minute.
The guy playing the sort of therapist is going through a really hard time.
It's Han Solo, isn't it?
Generally, and is not sure whether it's supervisor, but certainly his colleague is Han Solo. And he, at one stage, is listening to this client going on and on and on. You can tell that he's getting more and more bored. And then suddenly it says, shouts, "Oh, come on, man, you've been coming in 2 years. Just pull yourself together."
The twist is he tells them what he really thinks.
Yes, that's right, yeah. So
Johnny Croissant's back. Sorry, Alistair, go on.
Right. So, yeah, I just thought, I mean, the thing is, I knew that you'd be too professional to sort of lose it like that. But, yeah.
I just want to acknowledge Ben. Good evening, Ben.
Good evening. Calling from America.
Are you one of us, or did you just see the Zoom link on Twitter?
Well, I got the link from Twitter, but I have somebody in your moderator group that I know.
Go on.
Hello. The visionary person.
Oh, what's going on here?
Hello.
That's your bro. It's your bro. That's your sister.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is amazing.
Oh, hang on. There is a certain facial expression there that I saw that's very much like her mannerisms. I get it.
It's the beard. It's the beard, isn't it?
Well, I didn't like to say, but yeah, you're
I know.
right.
I wouldn't either, but you know.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Stay there, because there's I want to right, non-patron, long-time listener. Who's this? Okay, you're not going to speak. Johnny Croissant's back.
Hello, Ian. You all right there?
Yeah, good. Colin Rowland is in the house.
Hello, guys. It's me. Oh, there's camera.
There's Fixie Hartman. Fixie, unmute yourself. Okay. Matt Ward is here.
I'm here too.
Who's here too? Sorry?
I'm Tommy.
Hey, Tommy, how you doing, man? And,
I'm good.
Oh, hang on, I can't now.
Hey, Matt.
Hello.
But I also want to, hello, Matt. I want to acknowledge Luke is here. Good evening, Luke.
Good evening. How are we?
Yeah, good, man. This is a nice turnout for dropping the Zoom link in Twitter. No, this is normally we don't get this many people. Luke, what's happening with you?
I just thought I'd join in and say hello. We have talked before, Ian. I am the Find and Luke Van Dan DTM concert many years ago now.
Oh, but I took my boys to see Dan TDM at Wembley Arena, and Luke had much better seats than us, and he spotted me, and I had to try and spot him, and then we crushed your head.
We did, yeah.
How's everything going?
Yeah, really good, thanks. Yeah, I launched a men's peer support group 3 years ago, and it's really going on leaps and bounds now, really expanding to different towns in East Anglia. So it's going really well. Yeah, really, really good.
Hey, fantastic. That's good. Where can people find out? I see it's called For Men to Talk. Where can people... Sorry, I'm just looking at Tommy.
Website for men to talk.uk, but we're all over social media, the usual Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok.
I interviewed someone on 4 Extras, I do occasionally. And I said, right, where can people find out more about you? And they said, oh, you can Google me. And I thought, Google, that's it, right?
Yeah.
Tommy, do you use Google?
It will come up.
Yes, of course.
What was the last thing you Googled, Tommy?
Zoom meetings.
Okay, all right. What was the thing before that? Big Bazumbas?
Wait.
Oh, I like Tommy. Tommy's got a strong vibe.
Lil TJ.
Okay. And whereabouts are you from? En français?
Huh?
Pardon? Where are you from?
Germany.
Ah, yeah. Fixie, how's it going with Fixie Hartman?
Yeah, good.
Whereabouts are you from?
I'm from Germany too.
Oh, right. This is, willkommen. Hast du Geschwister?
Ja, aber das ist mir zu privat, das möchte ich nicht preisgeben.
Wie heißt sie?
Das möchte ich nicht preisgeben. I don't want to tell it.
Okay,
no, it's none of your business, frankly.
Fixie.
Ich bin 13 Jahre alt. Ich wohne in Slough. Das ist in Südostengland. Let's go to... Oh, who left? Who left? I don't know who left.
Someone who does not like the Germans.
Who left? I can't see. It's like that thing, we've taken something off of the plate and we can't see. Oh, it was long-time fan, no-time Patreon. Ben. So this is Amber's brother. What a good-looking family you are. Whereabouts in the States are you?
I'm in central New York. So New York is it's a very big state. It's not just the city.
Yeah.
It's about 250, 300 miles away from New York City.
Okay, and I can tell from your accent you've been there for a long time, right?
Very, very long time. I used to live in Slough, actually.
No, you didn't. Whereabouts in Slough?
I used to live just off the Priory Estate. I like to call it Burnham.
Burnham.
Oh, right, near the beach.
No,
Yeah.
well, Burnham and Burnham beaches, they kind of intersect, but no, but yeah, but no, yes. Well, I was on the Britwell estate when where I grew up.
Yeah, Thurmere Avenue.
Okay, all right, there we go. Look at this.
Yep, I know.
Bonding over.
And I left my little tiny flat and moved all the way over to a big house in America.
How long you been over there?
Oh, 15 years this year.
When was the last time you were over here?
Last year.
Okay, all right. Well, then I was going to be all sentimental about you and your sister, but fuck it, you've seen her recently.
Yeah, well, she won't stop calling me. It's ridiculous.
You're living the dream, then, man. You made it work.
Oh, we try.
Didn't be envious. I wish I'd gone and lived abroad.
You can just go. Well, I was going to say before this Brexit, you could have lived anywhere in Europe.
Did you call it Brexit?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like an anorexic with Europe.
Yeah, I wanted to live in Japan, but I bottled it. It's too late now. I've got kids and cats. Never going to happen. But that's the way
cats.
It goes.
Yeah, I know that is how it goes.
Hello. Let's go to Johnny before we go to Matt. Hello, Johnny. Okay.
Hello, Ian. Everything all right? Yeah.
Yeah, everything's all right, Johnny. How are you?
Well, I've talked to you before about my wife possibly mucking about. Do you remember? Quite a while ago, I was talking about that.
Yeah. So is your wife still mucking about?
But I thought that it was something to do with either the owner of the Chinese takeaway or the driver. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was fingering the driver. No.
You would. Okay.
But yeah, I think it's the own a It was Cairo Kenneth who owns the Chinese. It was him, I think.
Okay.
And I'm absolutely livid with that bastard.
Catherine, you let us know if he gets too racist. Okay?
He was just being nice and lovely, giving me like sort of like free meals every so often, and
yes.
I think it was to keep us, off the scent and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she goes out Monday nights.
Be with you in a second, Matt. I wish I'd gone to you first, if I'm honest. But go on.
Goes out Monday nights and she goes to like the club and that, you know what I mean? And I know she's like sort of, not doing stuff behind us back, And sorry, my good heavens!
Stop it!
That's not funny. Not funny. Not funny.
Please.
Right, I'm going to report you all to Zoom. You're all horrible.
And your
children.
mothers.
Yeah.
Although,
what is going on with Alistair? I thought we were seeing something there as well.
Hello, I'm here.
Golly gosh.
I was just having a bit of coffee.
All right. So I didn't spit it out. Gosh, Johnny, was that video footage of your wife?
Well, no, I'll tell you what, probably that Cairo Kenneth, what he gets up to.
Okay, Jesus, can we? I think I can get kicked off YouTube for that. Yeah, edit required. I don't quite know how I'm going to edit that out. Well, let's. I'm losing the will to live. So let's go to Matt.
Hello,
Matt. What's happening for you with you?
I'm applying for a Irish passport so that I can become an EU citizen.
Holy shit! Do you know what? I googled that yesterday.
Good idea.
Ooh.
I googled it, but I don't think I can.
As you have no Irish people in your family.
Yeah, that's a problem.
That's the problem. My nan, I just got it from my nan, so I'm like, yeah, why not? Gonna go milk that.
Oh, you gonna milk your nan?
Well, she's dead, but
Jesus Christ! It gets worse and worse. You're gonna milk a dead nan?
But yeah, get that EU rights. All that.
So is that the rule then, that you've got to know someone who's Irish?
It's not just you've got to know them. I think you have to be related to them.
Yeah.
Even though they might be, as that gentleman said, dead or long dead.
You can still be related to dead people.
Yeah. I did know her when she was alive. She's been dead a while, but still.
Yeah. Okay. I'm still thrown by that wonderful video that gentleman played for us. Well,
that's what happens when you send out Zoom links.
It's what happens. That's what happens. We've had a good old.
That's what happens when you don't have an internet curfew for your children.
Yeah, let me delete.
That's what happens.
Let's delete that now. That's that. Well, listen, we are kind of slowly wanging our way to the end because I'm going to go and play some walkabout mini golf with the dickhead. So, but I want everyone to feel they've got what they've wanted out of this. So, anybody, is there anything you want to say, you want to ask, you want to do before we move on? Speak now or forever hold your piss.
Well, I did notice that you're at 72 people on YouTube, and now after that incident, you're at 81. So
it works.
It does the rest of the circus joining us.
Sex sells. Sex.
83 now, according to YouTube. So it's going up. It's going up.
I don't think what happened in that video is physically possible.
Well, they're very skilled people, aren't they? The circus folk.
Very, very flexible.
Was it a naughty one?
Did you not see it?
A bit.
He was getting coffee. He missed it.
He's getting coffee. He missed it. I didn't know. Yeah, it was absolute filth.
You'll have to look back on YouTube.
No, because after this, it gives me the option to edit, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Alistair, you'll have to be quick.
I'll take up this opportunity then to plug my little mental health moles.
Oh yeah, go. Show us that. I can't let you spotlight because it buggers up everything on here.
It's called the Mental Health Moles. It's 2 cartoon moles talking about little different mental health subjects.
Yep.
And it's great for kids and adults, and all the money goes back into my Fermented Talk group. So I don't own it.
There you go. Brilliant. And how's it doing? Are people buying it?
About 500 copies of it.
Hey, that'll do, isn't it? That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Fantastic. I wish you the best of luck with that, Luke.
Thank you very much.
Keep on keeping on, as they say. Anybody else got anything you want to say? Because I'm going to kick you all out very, very soon. Johnny Croissant?
How would you know if if you're allergic to honey?
You try it?
I've just had these like honey sort of things, and the other day, and like I'd like sort of dents in my face. I don't know if that's like something that happens, or if it's just random, or
dents in your face.
I'd say that was a concern.
I would take a bit more. I would do a little bit more and rub it on your knob.
Wow, fruity.
Kill or cure, innit? Kill or cure.
Ben, Matt, anything else you wanna say?
Live in the moment.
He's right. He's not wrong. That's something I'm really trying to do at the moment, actually. And quitting that job on Jack. Pats, don't do that, darling. And walking away from broadcasting. Fucking hell, I feel alive. And you're right, live in the moment. That's why I'm going to have a little bit of food, and I'm going to play some walkabout mini golf. And then
they're living the dream up here on YouTube and Zoom with randoms.
We're living the dream on Zoom. There's a sentence that makes zero sense, but it's exactly. We've gone down to 71 viewers again, Ben.
Oh, no.
We need to get them back. Okay.
Post that link.
We heard the hilarious toilet flush the first time.
They waited for the system to refill and then hit us with it again. That's a good one.
No, because it's a recording.
Oh.
Do you want me to find a different video to try and boost the numbers? Or?
No, don't want any more of that. Right, everybody. Thank you. It's so lovely to see you, Luke, Matt, again, Johnny, not so much Ben. Really, really nice to meet you. Now, get the hell out of our meeting, because it's difficult for me to kick you all out.
Bye, everyone.
Ben's not going. We'll never know what he said. Well, that was lovely, right?
Yeah.
Sorry
well,
for the
most of it, yeah.
I apologise about that. We'll cut that out. Right, I'm going to get some food. It's been such a long day. Over 5 hours in A&E. What a day! But it's all about being a human being, isn't it? Catherine, you're going to be here tomorrow.
Yes.
And we're looking for your videos. If you find some nonsense, some crap,
not
some
like
rubbish,
that though. No
like
circus videos.
Anything on YouTube that you think we should have a little look at tomorrow, email us the link, latenightalternative@gmail.com. latenightalternative@gmail.com. And we've had a few emails in, and we will go through them, and we will look at your clips, and we will judge you on it. So, on that bombshell,
good night,
peace
everyone.
out. Good night, everybody. Chaz.